Chapter 1413. Xiaochen set aside the matter of the Mirage Immortal Palace for now. He wanted to see how much stronger the Cycle Throne had become after it was mended. The Cycle Throne was a quasi-primordial emperor treasure. Its greatest use was that it could allow one to control 7 divine weapons as they pleased. In the Kunlun realm, even the strongest bladesmen could only control 2 sabers. However, Xiaochen could control 7 divine weapons. The most crucial thing was that these 7 divine weapons were a set. Previously, Pride had not merged with the Destruction Throne. Although the 7 divine weapons were a set, there was a shortcoming. They could not be completely unified. Now that the 7 divine weapons merged with the Destruction Throne and soaked in the saber washing pool, their might would definitely increase significantly. With a thought, the 7 divine weapons came out of their scabbards at the same time. Xiaochen gently tapped with his finger, and 7 figures appeared on the ground, quickly grasping the saber hilts. Pride void-breaking stance. The light within 1 kilometer of the figure holding Pride vanished, turning pitch black. Everything in the surroundings returned to this saber. Then that figure soared into the air and vanished. It was like he teleported. The next time he appeared, he burst out with a 30-kilometer-long saber light, looking as resplendent as the sun. The space in front shattered like glass, shattering into powder. If a small star were here, it would have exploded. Xiaochen nodded slightly. After merging Pride with the Destruction Throne, he executed the first move of the flawless saber technique. Its might was not much weaker than his actual body's. In fact, it might even be stronger. The state of the Destruction Throne happened to be compatible with the void-breaking stance. It was impossible for it not to be stronger. Wrath Dragon Subduing Stance. Wrath merged with the Destruction Throne. It was the most suitable for executing the Dragon Subduing Stance. Dragons were tyrannical creatures in the first place. In ancient times, there was a son of heaven who compared himself to a true dragon. When the son of heaven raged, millions of corpses would fall. However, when a true dragon raged, it would not be as simple as millions of corpses. Even a nation or a dynasty would be destroyed. The figure holding Wrath quickly executed the second move of the flawless saber technique, Dragon Subduing Stance. With this move, 1,000 berserk dragons stood under his feet. Dragon might filled the air. Using the might of a true dragon, he turned it into saber might that could sweep through the galaxy. Greed, Falling Moon Stance. Within 3 years, Xiaochen had perfected the flawless saber technique. The third move was the Falling Moon Stance. In this life, Xiaochen had a fate with the moon. Many of his martial techniques were related to the moon. Flawless Bright Moon, Moon Bright Like Fire, 1,000-Year Death, 1,000-Year Flame, and many others were related to the moon. This Falling Moon Stance combined all the martial techniques related to the moon into the flawless saber Dao. With a flash of the saber light, a bright moon fell to the ground. A human figure flew across the sky, and the moon fell to the ground. Jealousy Blade, Heartbreak Style. Because the heavens were unfair, everyone would have a heart full of jealousy. They would feel sorrow, pain, and unwillingness because of jealousy. Along the way, he had experienced it deeply. In the end, the pain was so great that even his heart was broken. The fourth move of the flawless saber technique was unleashed with inspiration, the Heartbreaking Stance. This saber shatters the heart, first shattering oneself, then shattering the enemy. It was extremely powerful, but it was also a double-edged sword. It could injure the enemy by 1,000, but also hurt oneself by 800. Unless it was absolutely necessary, Xiaochen could not use this move. The specialty of the flawless Dao was the most obvious in this move. There was no perfect saber Dao or a perfect person. There was only a heart that pursued perfection. Laziness Blade Lingyun Stance. Laziness was human nature. Everyone was lazy. Without laziness, how could there be such a beautiful world with thousands of temptations? How could one restrain oneself? Only the lofty aspiration of Lingyun remained in one's heart, thinking of the scenery on the tall mountain, looking at the majesty of the clouds. The flawless saber technique's fifth move, Lingyun Stance. A youth with lofty aspirations did not worry. There would always be a saber with the word Lingyun carved in one's heart. One day, when this saber was unsheathed, it would definitely soar into the sky, soaring into the clouds and soaring into the 9 heavens. Lust blade, shadowless stance. Red lanterns and wine, indulging in a life of luxury, indulging in sensual pleasures until death. As the saying went, lust was a saber. This saber was the most ruthless and the most venomous. This saber was formless, killing without a trace. The color domain saber was such a venomous saber. The 6th move of the flawless saber technique used one strong mental energy. When combined with this saber, one could send out a shadowless saber, creating many illusions and thousands of temptations, indulging in sensual pleasures until death. Gluttony blade, heaven-swallowing stance. This move was the flawless saber technique's 7th move. It was also the strongest move. It represented Xiao Chen's ambition to swallow the heavens. The moment this move was executed, it could swallow up any martial technique, drowning it in the flawless saber Dao, the death Dao that represented the end. The 7 figures executed the flawless saber technique one after another. Then they exchanged moves and attacked each other. Xiao Chen watched coldly, doing his best to find the flaws in every move. Then he continuously modified them. After merging all 7 thrones, the flawless saber technique would officially appear. Whether Xiao Chen could keep his title as the saber sovereign depended on this flawless saber technique. Xiao Chen would depend on this flawless saber technique. Hence, he needed to continuously perfect it. As for the yin-yang saber formation, it was a different direction. It corresponded to his understanding of saber techniques and formations. One was his personal saber Dao, and the other was a saber technique formation. The two did not conflict with each other. Instead, they complemented each other. 3 days later, Xiao Chen came out of closed-door cultivation. He immediately learned that the demons had taken the Sword Sovereign Medallion. The first thing Xiao Chen thought of was Chu Chaoyan. Although there were many outstanding talents in the demonic world, and the 18 crown scions were all ridiculously strong and talented, none of them could defeat a sword sovereign in terms of swords. However, none of them could defeat the sword sovereign in terms of swords. Only Chu Chaoyan could. However, even if it was Chu Chaoyan, Xiao Chen did not have much of a relationship with him for now. However, the second piece of news made him frown. 7 days ago, 3 crown scions of the Blood Demon Royal Hall, the Winged Demon Royal Hall, and the Fire Demon Royal Hall worked together to set up a trap for the Water Moon Alliance in the savage battlefield. The alliance suffered heavy casualties. For the sake of protecting the other members, the alliance chief by Wuxia took the initiative to fall back, blocking the 3 crown scions and sustaining severe injuries. Now his whereabouts were unknown, his fate unknown. This battle was a disastrous loss for the Tianwu domain. Originally, after the 3 holy masters defected to the deity Dao Union, the Tianwu domain experienced the sorrow of not having a leader. The demons slaughtered them horribly. After much difficulty, Bai Wuxia appeared and stopped everyone, establishing the Water Moon Alliance. This instantly reversed the situation between the humans and the demons in the Tianwu domain. Not only did he stop the arrogance of the demons, but he also hunted down many demons. However, after this battle, the Water Moon Alliance fell apart. Bai Wuxia's fate was unknown, and his future became uncertain. After that, more news came. It turned out that the 3 demon royal halls were here for a forbidden land in the savage battlefield. 10,000 years ago, the Qing Emperor once killed a demon monarch and sealed his corpse in the dragon burial mound. The demon monarch had a peerless demonic sword in his hand. It was called Demonic Shadow. Now the appearance of tens of thousands of dragon caves in the dragon burial mound at the same time was a sign of the demon sword appearing. The crown scions of the 3 demon royal halls were here for this powerful demon sword. Surrounding and killing the Water Moon Alliance was just something they did along the way. However, the dragon burial mound was very vast. Who knew how many dragon caves there were? No one knew which dragon cave the corpse of this demon monarch was sealed in. They could only search for it slowly. Rumor said that the other 18 demon royal halls would all rush over. The 3 demon royal halls were just the vanguard. Whoever obtained this powerful demon sword would become the new leader of the demonic world. In the future, when they reached the peak, they would be the strongest demon monarch. The 10 crown scions of the demonic world were all ambitious people. Without a doubt, they would rush over. As the outstanding talents of the Kunlun realm, They naturally would not let the 18 demon royal halls obtain the demon sword. Xu Yang, the leader of the heavenly starry ocean, Sima Lingxian, the leader of the dark sea, Bai, the leader of the fiend domain, and the experts of the deity Dao Union were all on their way to the savage battlefield. The dragon burial mound immediately became a place of trouble. It was like a huge whirlpool. As the wind blew and clouds churned, a startling battle would erupt. The opportunity of the demon sword's appearance would bring the probing conflict between the Kunlun realm and the deep abyss demonic world to a new peak. After that, this golden age would become even more chaotic. Only when the demonic calamity arrived and the two realms fought to the death would this chaotic era end. Xiaochen wanted to stay far away from this troublesome place. However, he had promised Wu Xiaotian that he had to give the eternal ice to Bai Wuxia. Xiaochen had to go to the savage battlefield even if he did not want to. Chapter 14:14. Each of the 7 great forbidden grounds had its own mysteries. As for which one was the most dangerous, there was no conclusion. However, if one had to ask which place had the most stories, it had to be the savage battlefield. In ancient times, during the peak of martial arts, this place was already a famous land of fortuitous encounters. There were immortal graveyards, ruins of immortal Dao sects, ancient divine mountains, and various ancient beasts and king spirit veins. This place had always been a holy land for martial artists. However, it was during the peak and most prosperous era of martial arts that 100-clan war broke out here. In the end, the abyssal demonic world also joined in. This war eventually evolved into a catastrophe, causing the decline of martial arts to this day. Even the strongest Qing emperor 10,000 years ago had a prerequisite. He had to be the strongest person in the post-ancient times. During the peak of martial arts, when emperors were as common as clouds and saints were everywhere, the Qing emperor was not the strongest. The battle had turned this sacred land of the martial way into a desolate land. Its geography had changed completely, and today, it had become one of the 7 great forbidden lands. It was filled with danger and countless forbidden areas. Regardless, this place was still filled with fortuitous encounters. Merely, compared to the ancient era, this place was far more dangerous. The corpses of the various great emperors, the blood of the sovereigns, and the resentment of the demon monarchs had already changed the geography of the Holy Land, turning it into an ominous place. Now, in the golden age of the post-ancient era, this place was once again stirred up, attracting outstanding talents from all over to attack. This time, where would the Kunlun realm go? Would it be glory or decline? No one knew. When Xiaochen was still a martial monarch, he had come to the savage battlefield with his first senior sister and the others. At that time, he had been weak. Xiaochen could only walk at the periphery and had to be careful. There were too many places in the vast savage battlefield that he did not even dare to look at. Now that he had snuck in, it was like revisiting an old haunt. Compared to the past, the difference in power was like the difference between heaven and earth. However, he was even more careful and cautious. The higher one stood, the more reverence one had for the world. Xiaochen was here to look for Bai Wuxia. If possible, he would not participate in the fight for the demon sword. It was going to be a huge mess. Once they got involved, it would be very difficult for them to escape. There were countless places in the vast savage battlefield, and the environment was very complicated. There were desolate plains, swamps, hills, deserts, forests, and everything else. Finding Bai Wuxia would not be easy. Without a good plan, it would be like searching for a needle in a haystack. However, Xiaochen was not afraid of looking for a needle in a haystack. He was afraid that he would not even have the chance to do so. Bai Wuxia better not die. In the war chariot, Xiaochen looked at a map. The place he wanted to go was the Dragon Burial Mound. Right now, most of the people of the Winged Demon Royal Hall, the Blood Demon Royal Hall, and the Fire Demon Royal Hall should be at the Dragon Burial Mound, wishing that they could find that demon monarch's corpse. Xiaochen had been to the Dragon Burial Mound once before. He remembered that the place was very special. If one took the initiative to look for it, one would not be able to find a dragon cave. Only when the dragon cave appeared on its own would there be a chance to enter. At that time, he did not know the reason behind it. From the looks of it, it must have something to do with the demon emperor's corpse from 10,000 years ago. To be more precise, It might have something to do with the demon sword, evil shadow. The appearance of more than 10,000 dragon caves was clearly abnormal. It was not hard to understand why the demons wanted to use this opportunity to obtain the demon sword. As for Xiaochun, he wanted to force out Bai Wuxia's whereabouts from these demons. At the very least, he needed to know if Bai Wuxia was alive or dead. The black cycle war chariot turned into a graceful figure as it flew. Along the way, Xiaochun saw many war chariots, warships, and groups of cultivators of the various races of the Kunlun realm. However, these people's cultivations were not very high. Presumably, the outstanding talents of the various places had not rushed over yet. Only the cultivators of the Tianwu domain had come. Xiaochun's war chariot did not stand out among them. He even saw several war chariots that were decorated exactly the same as the cycle war chariot, not knowing whether to laugh or cry. After a while, they arrived at the dragon burial mound. When Xiaochun peered through the curtains, he felt startled. The original dragon burial mound had been hidden under endless mountain peaks. However, now all the peaks had crumbled. The boundless mountain range had vanished, turning into a boundless land of shattered rocks. Many true dragon caves were exposed in the shattered ground. There were so many that it was flabbergasting. Above every dragon cave, there was a huge dragon-shaped chi current shuttling through the clouds as if it was alive. The strangest thing was that the dragon chi was all black. Dragon chi was originally an auspicious thing. However, it seemed very strange here. When Xiaochun looked around, he saw that the various dragon caves in the boundless shattered ground seemed to follow some sort of pattern. Together with the dragon chi in the sky, Xiaochun vaguely felt that the scene before him resembled a certain geomancy. However, the boundless shattered ground was too vast. There were so many dragon caves that it was flabbergasting. Xiaochun could not see them clearly, so he could not confirm his guess. After the Tianwu domain cultivators arrived at the periphery of the dragon burial mound, they gathered at a mountain range, not daring to enter rashly. A stone stele stood at the periphery of the dragon burial mound. The corpses of many human cultivators were stuck in sharp rocks around the stone stele. If one looked carefully, they would discover that these were all the elites of the Water Moon Alliance. Their deaths were very miserable, a ghastly sight. For large, bloody words were written on the stone stele. All who enter will die. Looking at the many corpses, the Tianwu domain cultivators gritted their teeth in hatred. However, no one dared to charge in. Some of these people were the friends and relatives of the dead. Their eyes turned bloodshot, and they wanted to charge in without a care for their own safety. However, their companions held them back. The people of the Water Moon Alliance died really miserably. I heard that the Water Moon Alliance was originally surrounding the Blood Demon Royal Hall. Who could have imagined that the Winged Demon Royal Hall and the Fire Demon Royal Hall would suddenly appear and surround them instead? They got tricked badly. These demon crown scions purposely spread false news before this, planning for an entire month. They even purposely killed several demon Emperor Wu. Otherwise, Bai Wuxia would not have fallen for it. How hateful. To think that our Tianwu domain is so large. After such a big thing happened, no one stepped forward. The sons of the three holy masters joined the deity Dao Union and followed Diwuk's lead. If Diwuk does not say anything, they will not make an appearance. Furthermore, Shui Lingling is in closed-door cultivation, and Juanxi is wandering the starry heavens. There really is no one left in the Tianwu domain. If only the Blue Dragon King were still around. How could these demons be so arrogant? Don't mention that person. This is no longer the era of the Blue Dragon King. Back then he jumped off the Emperor's road. Who knows if he is still alive or not? Inside the war chariot, Xiaochun listened to the discussions of the surrounding cultivators and gained a rough understanding of what happened. Four demons stood on a rock not far from the stone stele. Their eyes showed some mockery as they looked at the Tianwu domain cultivators from afar. Of the 4 demons, 2 were from the Blood Demon Royal Hall. 1 was from the Winged Demon Royal Hall, and the last was from the Fire Demon Royal Hall. They were all royal clan disciples with purple marks on their foreheads. With these 4 people guarding this place, the hundreds of Tianwu domain cultivators did not dare to move. There were even several greater heavenly Emperor Wu among them. This was really ironic. This was the Kunlun realm, the territory of the human race. Yet these demons became the masters. With so many cultivators charging over, no matter how powerful the 4 demons were, they would not be able to kill them all. It would be impossible to defend this place. However, this was reality. Everyone feared death. No one dared to move. Boom. On the rock, a demon from the Blood Demon Royal Hall felt bored and pointed. The corpse of a human cultivator hanging on a sharp rock immediately exploded and turned into a splatter of blood, looking extremely cruel. Haha. Qin Yun, unexpectedly, you have such a hobby. People are already dead. Yet you still want to dismember their corpses. However, this method of yours is not very brilliant. Watch me. The demon in flaming robes from the Fire Demon Royal Hall laughed loudly. Then he snapped his fingers, and a human corpse immediately burned to ashes. That is nothing. Watch me. The blue-clad demon from the Winged Demon Royal Hall became interested. He stretched out his hand, and countless wind blades descended, slicing a corpse into thousands of pieces. Bastards! I'll fight it out with you. A Tianwu domain cultivator in the crowd roared when he saw his friend's corpse being trampled on like that. Don't go. If you go, you will fall for it. When the experts of the other domains arrive, we will settle the score with them. Although the person beside him was furious, he was still rational, and did his best to hold the other party back. The blood demon Qin Yun sat on a rock. When he saw this scene from afar, he smiled and said, "There is really no one left in the Tianwu domain. By Wuxia fled like a dog. You all are not even comparable to dogs." After saying that, the 4 started laughing at the same time. As they laughed, their heads flew off at the same time. The headless bodies slowly fell over, and a war chariot descended, crushing the 4 corpses to dust before flying off again. Clang! The flying war chariot happened to be in the air, catching the 4 flying divine weapons. The resonant sound of sabers lingered in the surroundings, lingering for a long time. However, the black war chariot had already vanished without a trace. The saber does not touch the hand, and the person does not leave a shadow. It is the shadowless saber sovereign. Someone cried out hoarsely only after a long time before he reacted to what happened. Chapter 14-15. Originally, Xiaochen wanted to leave one alive and interrogate him about Bai Wushue's whereabouts. However, these 4 people had gone overboard, so he could not be bothered with them. Since they had already been killed, so be it. He had always been decisive in killing demonic dwellers. If he could kill them in one move, he would not use a second move. After entering the dragon burial mound, the unusual aura became even more obvious. The black dragon chi swimming in the sky and the invisible feng shui layout made people feel extremely uncomfortable. It seemed like the rumor was most likely correct. There was indeed the corpse of a demon emperor buried here. Furthermore, this demon emperor had a powerful background. Who are you? How dare you barge into the forbidden area? Soon, the cycle war chariot was discovered. A group of demons blocked Xiaochen's path. This was also what Xiaochen had done on purpose. He had slowed down. If he had advanced at full speed, it would have been impossible for this group of people to stop him. The chariot stopped on top of a pile of broken rocks. Xiaochen looked at the group of people in front of him through the curtain. To Xiaochen's surprise, he discovered that the leader of the group was actually quite strong, much stronger than the 4 demons guarding the entrance. This person was Wang Tian, one of the Blood Demon Royal Hall's 4 protectors. He had once appeared in the Mountain Manor, where the ice-fire monster lived. Kill him. Seeing that Xiaochen, who was in the war chariot, did not say anything, Wang Tian instructed coldly. The 10 martial emperors of the Blood Demon Royal Hall stood behind him. He turned into a streak of crimson light and flew into the carriage. In the blink of an eye, he had passed through the curtains and entered the carriage. Wang Tian revealed a cold smile. These days, the shadowless saber sovereign was too famous. There were many imitators who liked to stab a saber in front of their war chariot. However, Xiaochen hoped that this was not an imitator but the real shadowless saber sovereign. Right now, the shadowless saber sovereign's head was already worth a lot in the deep abyss demonic world. The 2 demon monarchs could use his head to exchange for 1,000 primordial pills. If Xiaochen fought with his true body, he would definitely not be a match. However, with the 4 protectors and the crown prince, even a sovereign martial emperor would have to submit. A series of screams came from within the carriage. What was going on? Wang Tian was shocked. 10 elites of the first layer of the Emperor Wu. Even if they couldn't defeat one person at the same time, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Bang, bang, bang. The curtain of the carriage swayed amidst the strong gales, and corpses flew out one after another. When it fell to the ground, the mountain rocks exploded into fragments, and dust flew everywhere. The 10 Blood Demon Royal Hall elites all died. In that instant, Wang Tian's heart bled. Even in the Golden Age, there were people who succeeded in passing the tribulation from time to time, and Emperor Wu was emerging one after another. Compared to the peak of ancient times, there was not much difference. However, Emperor Wu was still in existence that stood at the peak of the martial arts world. Emperor Wu represented the strength of a faction. Furthermore, these 10 people were Emperor Wu of the Blood Demon Royal Hall. The Blood Demon Royal Hall had an extremely high threshold. Those who could enter were all elites. Shadowless Saber Sovereign. Wang Tian said through gritted teeth. Yes, it's me. You are really bold. The various outstanding talents of the Kunlun realm have not arrived yet. And you dare to barge into this dragon burial mound alone? Do you really not place our 3 demon royal halls in your eyes? Inside the war chariot, Xiaochen said indifferently. As far as I know, your 3 demon royal halls are ranked at the bottom, right? Otherwise, the 18 demon royal halls would not have sent you to be the vanguard, to be cannon fodder. Humph. Whether I am cannon fodder or not, you will know very soon. Right after Wang Tian spoke, his aura suddenly soared. A scarlet sword appeared in his hand, burning with a dense flame. This was the result of him activating the Blood Fiend demonic technique. Xiaochen watched coldly. He did not believe that the other party would dare to attack him. Whoosh. Indeed, it was as Xiaochen expected. The ferocious Wang Tian looked like he wanted to fight it out with Xiaochen. However, when Wang Tian's aura reached its peak, he swung his sword and turned to flee. Xiaochen, who had expected this, smiled coldly. The 2 horses revealed their true forms, turning into mutated flood dragons. The cycle war chariot carrying Xiaochen moved in an arc, dodging the other party's scarlet sword chi and blocking Wang Tian. Where are you going? This startled Wang Tian. This shadowless saber sovereign seemed to have seen through him. However, he calmed down in the blink of an eye. Wang Tian was a 5th heaven martial emperor. Even if he faced a sovereign martial emperor, he would still have a chance to survive if he got severely injured. I know that I am not a match for you. Shadowless saber sovereign, if you let me go, we can pretend that we did not see each other. Let's just pretend that we did not see each other. Otherwise, I will risk my severe injuries to escape and inform His Highness of your appearance. With the encirclement of the 3 demon royal halls, you will definitely die. Wang Tian threatened Xiaochen as he stood upright while holding his sword. You are overthinking. Do you think that I snuck in? I already killed the 4 demons guarding the pass. Even if you do not say anything, the 3 demon royal halls will find out soon. Oh no, Wang Tian thought to himself. Then he instantly executed the blood shadow evasion, turning into a scarlet beam of light and fleeing far away. The blood shadow evasion was an innate skill of the blood demons. Powerful blood demon cultivators could use this evasion technique to move 5,000 kilometers in an instant. However, this blood shadow evasion drained a lot of chi and blood. Most blood demons would not use it unless they had no other choice. Ding! Amid a melodious sound, Pride shot out. The resplendent saber light made the saber look like the bright moon. A sharp, miserable shriek rang out. Pride pinned Wang Tian to the ground, and he vomited a large amount of blood. Bang! Wang Tian shouted as he grasped the saber with both hands. He revealed a pained expression as he endured the intense pain, and pulled out Pride. After Wang Tian stood up, he continued running without looking back. The shadowless saber sovereign was stronger than he had imagined. He was not a match for the shadowless saber sovereign at all. Pride returned to the front of the war chariot with a clang. Then, Xiaochen looked at Wang Tian's departing figure. Xiaochen felt somewhat astonished. The life force of the blood demons was really strong. That earlier saber strike pierced through his heart of an emperor. Yet he still had the ability to flee. However, the stronger this person was, the better. The stronger this person was, the more the Blood Demon Royal Hall would know. Knowing that it was by Wuxia would increase Xiao Chen's chances. Otherwise, if Xiao Chen had to search for them one by one, this dragon burial mound was astonishingly large. Boom! Xiao Chen's aura was like the wind, knocking aside the curtains in front of the war chariot. His vision widened, and he clearly saw Wang Tian fleeing. Come back! Xiao Chen stretched out his hand and grabbed. The 1,000 strands of primordial energy in his body spun rapidly in his palm. A strong suction immediately pulled Wang Tian back. It was like teleportation, so strong that Wang Tian could not resist at all. After Wang Tian was sucked in, the curtains in front of the war chariot were still falling down slowly, not closing completely. This showed how fast it was. I don't have time to speak nonsense with you. Tell me, where is Bai Wuxia? Xiao Chen asked expressionlessly as he sat in the middle, holding Wang Tian with one hand. This was the first time Wang Tian saw this mysterious shadowless saber sovereign in the sealed space. The shadowless saber sovereign wore a mask, had black hair and a strong aura, putting immense pressure on others. When Wang Tian heard Xiao Chen's question, an indiscernible change flashed in his eyes. However, he quickly covered it up. After coughing a few times, Wang Tian smiled with much difficulty. So, you are here to save someone. In that case, you better behave yourself. Otherwise, it will be hard to guarantee your friend's safety. Xiao Chen looked at Wang Tian and said, behave myself to you. Xiao Chen's gaze made Wang Tian's hair stand on end. He quickly said, there's no need. I already said it. You just have to let me live. Don't try to bargain with me. Xiao Chen exerted some force with the hand holding Wang Tian. Wang Tian immediately felt an intense bone-piercing pain, causing him to cry out. Half a minute later, Wang Tian could no longer endure. He shouted, I'll speak. After he was injured by the 3 Crown Science Dao protectors, he fled to the savage battlefield's Death Sand Dune. The 4 protectors of the Fire Demon Royal Hall are chasing after him. Not dead. That's good. I can give away the eternal ice now. Xiao Chen knew that the Death Sand Dune was a boundless desert. The corpses of the 100 races of the past were buried under the desert. Now, they were already eroded by the wind. Rotting divine weapons, tattered armor, and demonified skeletons could be seen everywhere. The environment of that place was complicated, with sandstorms everywhere. It was indeed suitable for fleeing. Bai Wuxia should be able to hold out there for some time. I already said it. Can you let me go now? Wang Tian asked, unwilling to give up. Even though he knew that there was not much hope, Xiao Chen did not answer. He still had to consider whether the other party was lying to him or not. Xiao Chen did not say anything under the mask, giving off an unfathomable feeling. The sealed space was scarily quiet. Wang Tian, who was hoisted in the air, felt very uneasy. You are lying to me, Xiao Chen said suddenly as he narrowed his eyes amid the oppressive atmosphere. His killing chi burst forth. Wang Tian's expression changed dramatically. How did he know? Just as he was about to say something, he understood. Xiao Chen was tricking him. Indeed, you are lying to me. You are really bold. Bang! Wang Tian's body flew out of the war chariot. When he landed, he gave off an intense explosion. The war chariot moved slowly and arrived beside Wang Tian. Then Xiao Chen's cold voice came from it. I'll give you one last chance. Tell me the truth. Otherwise, I won't kill you. I'll hand you over to the relatives of the Water Moon Alliance members. With just this sentence, Wang Tian, who was struggling to get up, paled in horror. Wang Tian was very clear on how badly they killed the Water Moon Alliance members, and how angry their relatives were. Falling into their hands was no different from falling into hell. Chapter 14-16. In the depths of the Dragon Burial Mound, 3 demons with extraordinary appearances stood together and chatted casually. There were many similarities between the 3 of them. They all had impeccable looks and noble temperaments. There was a purple mark between their eyebrows, and their clothes were all inlaid with a faint layer of gold. The only difference was the emblem on their clothes. The emblem was exquisite and small, representing the Blood Demon Royal Hall, the Winged Demon Royal Hall, and the Fire Demon Royal Hall. That's right, these three people were the rumored three princes. However, it was strange that besides an old man standing beside each of them and a chariot parked beside them, there was no one else. The fire demon royal hall's crown scion was called Xianyan. After sizing up the place, he looked at the winged demon royal hall's crown scion and said, Yi Xian, which royal hall do you think has the highest chance of obtaining the demonic sword Evil Shadow this time? The ones with the greatest chance are naturally the first demon hall's Heavenly Demon Hall, the second demon hall's Earth Demon Hall, and the third demon hall's Shadow Demon Hall. The other demon halls also have a chance, but they cannot compare to these three halls. The winged demon halls Yi Xian analyzed calmly after thinking for a while. However, the blood demon royal hall's Wang Feng shook his head. I don't think so. How so? Hearing that Wang Feng seemed to have other opinions, the two crown scions looked over. Have you ever thought that if that person from the succubus palace comes along as well? TSK, that would be a huge variable. After hearing this, Xianyan and Xianyan's handsome faces changed slightly, as they fell into deep thought. Indeed, if that person came, the variables would be huge. That's impossible. Although this person is incredible, he is very smart. He knows that there are some things that he cannot touch. This is the evil shadow sword. It's hard to say. Whoosh, whoosh. Just then, two strong gusts of wind blew over. As the wind gathered, two demonic beings from the winged demon palace walked out and knelt on one knee. Greetings, your highnesses. Qin Yun and company have been killed. The trio's expressions did not change when they heard the news. Qin Yun and company were not considered to be the strongest. Asking him to guard the pass was just to stall for time before the leaders of the various factions arrived, so that no one would disturb them. However, he did not expect the leaders of the other domains to arrive so quickly. It was a little unexpected. Who did it? The heavenly starry oceans Chu Yang, the dark seas Sima Lingxian, the fiend domains Kong Yuan, or the ghost race or the corpse race? Your Highness, none of them. What? Upon hearing this, the three princes' expressions changed slightly. Yi Xian said in a low voice, Speak, who did it? Shadowless Saber Sovereign. The place remained silent for a while. Then, the Blood Demon Royal Hall's crown scion smiled coldly and said, You came at a good time. My royal father wants his head, and second imperial uncle is currently searching for him throughout the Kunlun realm. To think that he dares to appear. I'll inform my second imperial uncle right away. Once he's killed, it'll count as my contribution. After saying that, the Blood Demon Royal Hall's crown scion Wang Feng closed his eyes. The purple mark on his forehead flickered continuously. The others knew that this was a secret method exclusive to the royal family of the blood race. Similar methods were available to all races. After a while, the Blood Demon Royal Hall's crown scion smiled and said, My royal uncle is in the Tianwu domain. He will rush over soon. Since that is the case, then the two of us will not interfere in this matter. The two knew that the shadowless Saber Sovereign had snatched something that the Blood Demon Monarch wanted, and already incurred a grudge. Thus, they tactfully sold Wang Feng a favor. Yi Xian said to the demons still kneeling on the ground, You two can withdraw first. Continue searching the Dragon Cave. There is no need to care about the shadowless Saber Sovereign's matter. The two demons stood up, and their figures became increasingly faint. Then, they turned into a gust of wind and blew into the distance. Boom. However, the demons had only flown 1 kilometer when two even more intense winds blew in the distance. Furthermore, these were not ordinary winds but saber winds. These were not sabers hidden in the wind, but wind formed by boundless saber intent. The strong winds were accompanied by thunder and lightning, tearing through the air. Two miserable shrieks rang out. The two winged demon Royal Hall's demons, who were originally drifting away, fell to the feet of the three crown scions covered in wounds. Electricity even flickered in those saber wounds. The two demons howled in pain. Their bodies trembled endlessly, no longer able to stand up. Bang! A figure landed heavily, kicking up a lot of dust. The Blood Demon Royal Hall's crown scion raised his eyebrows and said, Wang Tian. Your Highness, it is the shadowless Saber Sovereign. He is here to save by Wuxia, Wang Tian said with much difficulty. The sound of wind chimes rang out. Two mutated flood dragons pulling a war chariot slowly descended. The old men beside the three-crowned scions silently moved away, inadvertently protecting the three-crowned scions where they could most easily protect them. These three unremarkable-looking old men were the mysterious Tao protectors of their respective demon royal halls. Inside the war chariot, when Xiaochen saw the three demon-crowned scions, he felt somewhat surprised. To think that there was only one old man beside the three. Where did the other people of the demon royal halls go? Very good. You have performed a meritorious deed by luring the shadowless saber sovereign here. After you die, I will get Imperial Father to confer a posthumous title on you. The Blood Demon Royal Hall's crowned scion said indifferently. Then he threw a palm strike and extinguished Wang Tian's final life force. Before Wang Tian died, he did his best to say something, to tell the three crowned scions not to underestimate the enemy. However, Wang Feng did not give him the chance. In the end, Wang Tian did not say what he wanted to say. Who gave you such great courage? To dare to come and seek the three of us alone? Yi Xian, the Winged Demon Royal Hall's crowned scion, said with a faint smile as he sized up the cycle war chariot with interest. Xianyan smiled and said, "This war chariot is pretty good. I want it." Wang Feng, it is not that we do not want to give you a chance. He delivered himself to us. You cannot blame us for this. I know, Wang Feng said indifferently. Xiaochen did not understand what the three were talking about. The reason he came here was because Wang Tian said something else. Bai Wuxia had not managed to get far before he was captured. However, the three crowned scions did not kill him. Instead, they locked him up with the other Water Moon Alliance elites. According to Wang Tian, the crowned scions wanted to use these people as hostages. After the crowned scions obtained the evil shadow sword, the major characters of the Kunlun realm might make a move to stop them. At such a time, there would be some benefits to having hostages. I don't understand what you are talking about. Just one question. Is Bai Wuxia in your hands? Xiaochen asked from the war chariot. The Blood Demon Royal Hall's crowned scions clapped their hands, and some demons immediately walked out of the warship in the air. They pressed down on the restrained Bai Wuxia, Lingfeng, and the others, making them kneel on the ground. When Xiaochen saw this, he relaxed. Release them, and I'll leave this place immediately. I will not participate in the fight for the demon sword. The three crowned scions laughed at the same time. Wang Feng said coldly, Shadowless Saber Sovereign, do you still not understand the situation? Release them? Soon, you will be kneeling there as well. To think that you still dare to boast shamelessly. The two crowned scions of the Winged Demon Royal Hall and the Fire Demon Royal Hall revealed mocking expressions as they clapped their hands. Whoosh! Immediately, strong winds blew, flames howled, and scarlet light shot out from the various dragon caves. The flames filling the sky descended like meteors. After they landed, they squirmed and took human form. Many demons walked out from the gale with cold expressions. As the scarlet light shot out, the many blood demons revealed themselves. Densely packed demons immediately filled the empty ground. They surrounded the cycle war chariot, both inside and out. With a casual glance, these three demon royal halls demons numbered at least 3,000. 1/3 of them were Emperor Wu's cultivators. The overwhelming demonic might gathered. Immediately, winds blew and clouds churned. This demonic might pushed away the black dragon chi swimming in the sky, making it seem like it would scatter. The air immediately thinned. The atmosphere was suppressive and tense, and a cold, somber intent spread out. Kill! 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 All the demons shouted coldly 3 times. Then they drew their weapons at the same time, and pointed them at the cycle war chariot. The 3,000 strands of killing chi turned solid. Before this pressure, the war chariot seemed to be unable to withstand it, giving off creaking sounds. The 7 divine weapons trembled endlessly, buzzing. Bullying with numbers? Xiaochen seemed to be muttering to himself in the war chariot. Wang Feng smiled coldly and said, You fool, you can't be thinking that we will personally make a move against you, right? Xianyan said indifferently. As demon-crowned scions, we have noble statuses. How can we not cherish ourselves? Don't get angry. Today, we are bullying with numbers, surrounding and killing you. Yi Xian's voice was cold, containing a trace of mockery. This shadowless saber sovereign foolishly came looking for him. Yet he still blamed them for fighting with numbers. This shadowless saber sovereign was only SOSO. Angry? Not at all. It is just that I do not like bullying with numbers, so I rarely use these methods. It looks like I can use them today. Many thanks. Inside the war chariot, Xiaochen showed a calm expression. There was no panic in his tone at all. What does he mean? For some reason, the 3 demon-crowned scions felt that something was wrong. Clang. The 7 divine weapons drew at the same time, and 7 figures appeared around the war chariot. They stretched out their hands and grasped the divine weapons. Then they each took a position and protected the war chariot. It was not over yet. Inside the war chariot, a brilliant light suddenly flashed in Xiaochen's eyes, and his aura suddenly soared. Many sabers flew out of the war chariot, turning into thousands of saber lights. Each saber light was as piercing as the blazing sun. The light was too dazzling. The 3 demon-crowned scions could not see clearly, so they squinted slightly. When the light vanished, the 3 demon-crowned scions gaped in shock, their faces filled with disbelief. For bladesmen surrounded each of the demons of the 3 demon royal halls. When one looked around, the 3,000 demons were surrounded so tightly that not even a drop of water could escape. Chapter 14-17. The 3 demon-crowned scions showed stunned expressions. The situation had changed too quickly. Don't worry, this is just a doppelganger technique. The more doppelgangers he has, the weaker he will be. He's definitely just putting on an act. I nearly startled him. Attack. Shadowless Saber Sovereign. Let's see how long you can remain arrogant. The Blood Demon Royal Hall's Wang Feng said with a surging killing chi, his face sinking. That's right, this was indeed a doppelganger technique. However, this doppelganger technique was a little different from what they had imagined. It was created by Xiaochen using the life bestowal spell. The doppelganger's battle prowess was not worth mentioning. The doppelganger was not important. What was important was the saber in the doppelganger's hand. With the cycle war chariot as the center, a vast taiji diagram appeared on the ground. 7 figures protecting the war chariot held divine weapons and danced about. Hua. The 10,000 clones moved at the same time, brandishing the sabers in their hands and sending out saber lights. Saber lights filled the air, flickering endlessly. Boundless saber chi shook the surroundings, creating a majestic scene. The scene of the clones crumbling upon contact did not happen, as Wang Feng and the other 2 had imagined. Instead, the 3 trapped demons held back. The moment the battle started, many wounds appeared on their bodies. The taiji diagram on the ground slowly spun, and the formless taiji saber domain spread out. Every demon was separated. All that could be seen were saber lights, saber sounds, and unfathomable saber chi everywhere. Amid the flickering lights, the 3,000 demons did not face clones. Instead, they faced the yin-yang saber formation formed by the clones holding sabers. In the beginning, the devil dwellers could still deal with them. Although they were panicking, they could guarantee that they would only suffer some light injuries. However, slowly the yin-yang saber formation started to rotate completely. There was no longer a single clone. Only 2 huge dragons made of saber lights soared up and down, baring their fangs and brandishing their claws. It was either a dragon's head roaring, a divine dragon swinging its tail, or a pair of dragons playing with a pearl. Amidst the endless saber light, screams rose and fell without end. Blood splattered everywhere, and the saber light began to glow with a blood-red light. What's going on? The expressions of Wang Feng and the other 2 changed drastically. They grew anxious. They had not expected things to turn out like this. Get them to retreat. Hurry up and retreat. That's a formation. This won't do. I can't retreat. There are saber lights everywhere. Up in the sky, down on the ground, in all directions. They completely interfere with my 6 senses. The Winged Demon Royal Hall's Yixian's expression turned scarily sullen. Unexpectedly, it seemed like the shadowless Saber Sovereign was going to destroy the 3 Demon Royal Halls. On the warship, Ling Feng said joyfully, "Big brother Bai, it's the shadowless Saber Sovereign. He is here to save us." Bai Wuxia felt it was strange. He did not have any dealings with the shadowless Saber Sovereign. Why did the other party come to save him? However, although the shadowless Saber Sovereign used the Saber formation to gain an advantage, the 3 Demon Royal Hall's Dao Protectors had not made a move yet. Make your move, the Fire Demon Royal Hall's Xianyan said. The 3 Dao Protectors exchanged glances, then bowed slightly and stepped forward, emitting powerful auras. Boom. The Sovereign Emperor might condensed into a beam and soared into the sky. In an instant, all the clouds in the sky were swept away. All that could be seen in the sky was the wandering black dragon Qi, as well as the universe's starry sky, the sun, moon and stars. The 3 Dao Protectors were actually all 7th Heaven's sovereign martial emperors. Their auras continued to soar. Rumble. The ground for 5,000 kilometers around started trembling. Countless rocks soared into the air and floated there. With the Dao Protectors making a move, let's see how you survive. The Blood Demon Royal Hall's Wang Feng said hatefully. The current situation was one person killing thousands of elites of 3 Demon Royal Halls. Just thinking about it made one feel sullen. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The 3 Dao Protectors finally moved. Their figures flashed, wanting to charge in and suppress the shadowless Saber Sovereign's main body. However, something strange happened. The moment the 3 Dao Protectors came into contact with the Yin-Yang Saber formation, they felt an incredibly surging aura force the 3 out. It won't do. There is a strange force field below that saber formation. It blends yin and yang, reversing the universe. Unless we find the strange circulation pattern, we will not be able to force our way in. The moment Wang Feng said that, the 3 Crown Scions were completely dumbfounded. Even their final trump card was useless. Could they really not stop the shadowless Saber Sovereign? Just at this moment, the saber lights filling the air suddenly vanished. The dust scattered with the wind. At a glance, many sabers flickering with cold light were stabbed into the ground where the demons originally stood. There were also many demons lying on the ground, their fates unknown. Xiao Chun, who was in the war chariot, felt slightly fatigued. This formation should have been executed by many people at the same time. When Xiao Chun executed it alone, the drain on his magic energy was too horrifying. He could not maintain it for too long. However, this was not bad. Half of the 3,000 demons had died. The remaining half basically did not have much combat prowess. The Yin-Yang Saber formation made its debut, and its performance was rather satisfactory. This is a good opportunity. It was not easy for him to execute that saber formation either. The eyes of the Fire Demon Royal Hall's Dao Protector lit up. His entire body burned with flames, and his sovereign emperor's might soared into the sky, stirring up the winds and clouds. Then he leaped into the air and flew towards the Cycle War Chariot. The other 2 Dao Protectors reacted slightly slower. However, they felt that this opportunity could not be missed, so they quickly followed. When the 3 7th Heaven Sovereign Martial Emperors attacked, their emperors' might merged together and kicked up a boundless strong wind. The sabers stabbed into the ground clanged endlessly in the strong wind. The war chariot could not endure the immense pressure, causing it to sink into the ground. However, Xiao Chun, who was seated in the war chariot, did not show any fear. After collecting the 7 thrones, he had perfected the flawless saber technique. He was no longer the same as before. Void-breaking stance. Xiao Chun called out softly, and pride, which had merged with the destruction throne, vanished with a whoosh. When it reappeared, it was shining with a bright light as it chopped down at the Fire Demon Royal Hall's Dao Protector. The Fire Demon Royal Hall's Dao Protector, who was rushing towards the Cycle War Chariot, could not dodge at all. He could only raise his palm to receive the attack. Dang! An intense clash resounded like thunder. The Fire Demon Royal Hall's Dao Protector vomited a mouthful of blood and went flying back 1 kilometer. I'll kill you. After suffering such a great loss, the Fire Demon Royal Hall's Dao Protector became somewhat enraged. He stood firmly and prepared to charge over. However, clearly the Fire Demon Royal Hall's Dao Protector no longer had this opportunity. The second divine weapon, Wrath, executed the dragon subduing stance and chopped down. Dang! After vomiting 3 mouthfuls of blood, the Fire Demon Royal Hall's Dao Protector moved back another 1 kilometer. This time he was severely injured. His hair was disheveled, and wounds covered his entire body. However, it was not over yet. Before the Fire Demon Royal Hall's Tao Protector landed on the ground, Sloth charged over. He wanted to see the scenery at the peak of the mountain, to stand at the top of the clouds and look down on the world. He was young and full of ambition. There was always a saber with the word Lingyun carved in his heart. One day, when this saber was unsheathed, he would definitely soar into the sky, soaring through the clouds and into the 9 heavens. Flawless saber technique, 5th move Lingyun. 3 sabers flew over one after another, not giving the Tao Protector any chance to catch his breath. Boom! This time, the Fire Demon Royal Hall's Tao Protector retreated quickly and landed at the feet of the 3 crowned scions. Old Xian. The Fire Demon Royal Hall's crowned scion, Xianyan, was greatly startled. He quickly went over to help the Fire Demon Royal Hall's Tao Protector up. Be careful. The Winged Demon Royal Hall's crowned scion, Yixian, reacted quickly. He immediately pulled the Fire Demon Royal Hall's Tao Protector and Wang Feng back. Boom! There was a loud sound and the Fire Demon Royal Hall's Tao Protector exploded, sending out resplendent saber lights. The life essence of a sovereign martial emperor was as dazzling as a meteor as it filled the air, lighting up the entire place and stunning everyone. The shock waves of the explosion left Wang Feng and the others covered in dust. When they looked up at the cycle war chariot, their faces paled slightly, and their lips trembled continuously. How can this be? How can this be? 3 sabers. The Shadowless Saber Sovereign used only 3 sabers to kill a 7th Heaven Sovereign Martial Emperor. The other 2 crowned scions, who had been charging over with the Fire Demon Royal Hall's Tao Protector, saw that the situation was bad and immediately retreated in fright. Their speed was even faster than lightning. Breaking space, dragon subduing stance, Lingyun, killing a sovereign with 3 sabers. Chapter 14:18. Killing a 7th Heaven Emperor Wu with 3 saber strikes stunned the 3 demon crowned scions. The strength of the Shadowless Saber Sovereign completely surpassed their expectations. So. Pride, wrath, and sloth returned to their scabbards. Inside the war chariot, Xiaochen felt somewhat surprised at the might of the flawless saber technique after it merged with the 7 states. Logically speaking, it should not be possible for the other party to be so ridiculously strong. No matter how he thought about it, it was the other party who had underestimated him first. This gave Xiaochen an opportunity. All 3 strikes landed. His physical body could not endure the swelling saber chi in his body, causing him to explode and die. If he had used all his strength to block the first slash, he might have ended up in such a miserable state. After calmly analyzing the situation, Xiaochen gained a more intuitive understanding of his flawless saber technique. In a one-on-one fight with the flawless saber technique, defeating a 7th Heaven Martial Emperor would not be a problem. However, it would not be ridiculously strong, either. After all, his cultivation was still a little lacking. Xiaochen had always been like this. He would never underestimate himself, nor would he overestimate himself. The death of the Fire Demon Royal Hall's Tao Protector was too shocking. Resplendent sparks filled the sky, attracting the many cultivators of the Tianwu domain to rush over. When the countless Tianwu domain cultivators saw this scene, they all revealed expressions of incredulity. Of the 3,000 demons of the 3 demon royal halls, half were dead or injured. The other half lay half dead on the ground, moaning in pain. Sabers stabbed into their bodies. There was also a king-level Tao Protector who exploded and died. This was equivalent to 3 demon royal halls being crippled by a single person. It really is the Shadowless Saber Sovereign. He alone crippled 3 demon royal halls. No wonder Wu Xiaotian took the initiative to hand the Saber Sovereign medallion to him. The Shadowless Saber Sovereign is indeed already as strong as a sovereign martial emperor. The title of Saber Sovereign is truly well-deserved. The 3 demon royal halls were arrogant and despotic, looking down on the cultivators of my Tianwu domain. Let's see how arrogant they are now. Look, the highnesses of the 3 great demon halls are all dumbfounded. Many martial artists felt extremely delighted, but they did not dare to step forward because there were still 2 Tao Protectors here. Clang, clang, clang. All the sabers stabbed into the ground turned into saber lights and returned to the war chariot. Only at this moment did the demons who were still alive feel the pressure on them lessen. They all stood up and went behind their respective highnesses. Now everyone understood that these demons were intimidated by the saber intent on the saber. That was why they could not get up. Immediately, they felt that the shadowless saber sovereign's strength was even more unfathomable. In the war chariot, Xiaochen said indifferently, "Release him." The crown science of the Blood Demon Royal Hall, the Winged Demon Royal Hall, and the Fire Demon Royal Hall felt fear in their hearts. The three princes were all very powerful, and together with the two Dao protectors, they would definitely be able to put up a fight. However, Xiaochen's act of killing a seventh heaven great emperor with 3 slashes was too shocking. The three of them were not confident and lost their drive. Sometimes it was just like that. Once the courage and drive were gone, even if the strength was still there, it wouldn't be able to be used. Let him go. With his strength, I think only the top 3 princes can fight him. Yay, we're just the vanguard. We shouldn't have to deal with such an opponent. That's right. Right now we are weakened. We cannot suffer any more losses. The 3 princes quickly sent voice projections and quickly came to a consensus. On the warship, by Wuxia, Lingfeng, and the other Water Moon Alliance cultivators had their restrictions removed and were tossed down. The Blood Demon Royal Hall's Wang Feng said through gritted teeth, "Shadowless Saber Sovereign. We already did what you wanted us to do. You can leave now, right?" Right now, Wang Feng's heart was filled with regret. If he had agreed to the Shadowless Saber Sovereign at the start, things would not have turned out like this. If he had known that this would happen, why did he do it in the first place? Xiaochen ignored Wang Feng, which upset him even more. However, he could not do anything about it. The war chariot flew quickly and arrived before Bai Wuxia, Ling Feng and the others. "Senior, we meet again. Many thanks for saving us." Ling Feng was rather excited. Once again he saw the Shadowless Saber Sovereign's strong strength. This made him worship Xiaochen even more. Xiaochen had some impression of this person. He was a pretty good bladesman of the younger generation. Then, he casually answered and looked at Bai Wuxia. After parting for more than 10 years, Xiaochen had not expected that the two would meet under such circumstances. When he thought about the past conflicts between him and this person, Xiaochen could not help but sigh. The past slowly unfolded like a painting, appearing in Xiaochen's mind, and bringing the timeline to the period when he first came to the Kunlun realm. That was the most glorious period of Bai Wuxia's life. He was young and arrogant. Now that so many years had passed, he seemed to have changed a lot. "Shadowless Saber Sovereign, may I ask who asked you to come and save us?" Bai Wuxia was not a hothead like Ling Feng. With just a little thought, he knew that the Shadowless Saber Sovereign's arrival was definitely not simple. "Get in. This is not the place to speak." After hesitating for a moment, Bai Wuxia gave some instructions to the companions behind him and boarded Xiaochen's cycle war chariot. After about 7 minutes, Bai Wuxia, who was in the war chariot, held the eternal ice, feeling somewhat excited. No matter how he guessed, he could not have imagined that Xiaochen had come to save him for this reason. It did not take much effort to speak to a smart person. After Bai Wuxia got in the war chariot, Xiaochen explained everything in a few words. "After refining this eternal ice, I am confident of breaking through to Sovereign Martial Emperor," Bai Wuxia said with great certainty as a brilliant light flashed in his eyes. Xiaochen did not doubt this. Given Bai Wuxia's talent in the Ice Dao, breaking through to Sovereign Martial Emperor would not be difficult for him, if he obtained a wondrous item like the eternal ice. The problem was how long would he need to refine the eternal ice? Perhaps half a year, perhaps even longer. Changing the topic, Bai Wuxia said, "Based on your tone, you do not want to get involved in the conflict over the evil shadow sword. Why? The Blood Demon Royal Hall, the Winged Demon Royal Hall, and the Fire Demon Royal Hall are ranked at the bottom of the 18 Demon Royal Halls. The true battle has just begun. Furthermore, I received news that the top 3 crown scions are not much weaker than you are now. In fact, they might be even stronger." Xiaochen retorted indifferently. "What does that have to do with me? The outstanding talents of the Kunlun realm will naturally step forward. I just need to do my part." "Are you talking about the deity Dao Union led by Di Wuk? His strength is indeed unfathomable. Rumor has it that he already broke through to Sovereign Martial Emperor. There is also the heavenly starry oceans Chu Yang, the fiend domains Kong Yuan, and the others. They are all peak outstanding talents who can fight with the demon crown science. However, our Tianwu domain has no such people. Bai Wuxia said somewhat agitatedly. In the earlier battle, he fought against 3 crown scions of the demon race, and did not end up at a disadvantage. However, he was alone and did not manage to last until the end. The appearance of the shadowless saber sovereign gave Bai Wuxia new hope. As long as the other party was willing to join, the Water Moon Alliance would definitely gain new life. You probably do not know how broad the implications of this fight for the demon sword are. This battle is the first major test of the outstanding talents of the various races in the Golden Age. It concerns many benefits in the future, Bai Wuxia said further, urgently wanting to obtain the shadowless saber sovereign's support. Furthermore, Bai Wuxia felt that the other party's eyes were somewhat familiar. Perhaps he was an old friend. Using emotion and reason to move the other party might be able to move the other party. Under the mask, Xiaoqun narrowed his eyes and ferociously looked at Bai Wuxia, putting pressure on the other party, who did not know how to deal with this. The sealed war chariot fell silent. Bai Wuxia did not know how to continue the original topic, so he could only change the topic. If I may be so bold as to ask, may I know your real name? Bai Wuxia asked as he looked at the half-masked Xiaoqun. I should have seen you before. If I guessed right, we should have some interactions. Xiaoqun's expression did not change at all. Perhaps Bai Wuxia could find some familiarity in Xiaoqun's eyes. However, it was impossible for him to guess who Xiaoqun was. Just call me Shadowless. One day, when I walk out of this war chariot, you will know who I am. You can get off now. Right after Xiaoqun spoke, before Bai Wuxia could reply, a force knocked him off. It was not that Xiaoqun was not willing to help Bai Wuxia. It was just that this fight for the demon sword would attract too many people. Furthermore, there were many people that Xiaoqun did not know how to face. There were also some people that he feared he would not be able to control his rage after seeing them. Chapter 1419. Wang Feng cried out hoarsely, "Oh no! My royal uncle is here." This group of demons really thinks that the Tianwu domain is their own home. How lawless! Shui Lingling said as she floated down from the sky and stood beside Juanxi. This was just the beginning. A sky full of arrows tore through the sky like meteors, densely packed and covering the sun as they shot over. 3 crown scions quickly retreat. The Haotian sex Shui Lingling is here. The Thunder and Lightning Palace's experts have all rushed over as well. The 3 crown scions exchanged glances, and the same thought appeared in their minds at the same time. Since Bai Wuxia was released, they would capture this person alive. This person was even more valuable than Bai Wuxia. He was simply the most ideal person to be a hostage. When Juanxi heard this, he smiled bitterly to himself. Bai Wuxia was already good enough. If not for protecting the others and bringing up the rear alone, Bai Wuxia would be much more valuable. With his strength, it would be easy for him to escape if he wanted to. He definitely wouldn't be caught. The valiant and formidable-looking Shui Lingling ordered with a cold expression as she stood on the profound sun-bird. Royal Uncle. The 3 demon royal halls looked like they were crippled. However, the 3 crown scions and 2 Dao protectors were still around. They were still not people they could deal with. Whoosh! 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 After Wang Feng landed, he staggered back a few steps, his complexion pale. The expressions of the other 2 crown scions slowly turned grave as well. At the crucial moment, the 2 Dao protectors stepped forward and held up a light barrier, blocking all the arrows. However, do you think that you are the shadowless saber sovereign? Since he dares to come alone, you dare to come alone as well. Capture him alive. As the 3 crown scions looked at the 1,000-odd demon corpses on the shattered ground, they all frowned heavily. Everything had been going smoothly, but the appearance of this shadowless saber sovereign turned the situation into a mess. The 3 demon royal halls each lost more than half their forces. The red light descended, and a middle-aged man wearing scarlet robes inlaid with gold walked out. Following that, icy clouds drifted, and a white-clad snow demon also appeared. That was not all. There was a loud sound like a mountain crashing down. An iron demon also walked over. Shui Lingling snappily said, "You're so arrogant and conceited. I've already said that we'll act together after we come back. It's fine if you're caught, but you've implicated so many innocent people of the Water Moon Alliance." Wang Feng lowered his head and whispered, "Royal Uncle, the Shadowless Saber Sovereign made a move. We thought that we could surround and kill him. Who knew he killed most of us by himself? I am untalented. With my cultivation, I do not live up to the name Thunder King." And Juanqi remained calm and unhurried. Stepping in the air, Wang Feng charged over again with the bloodsword in his hand. And Juanqi looked at the demon corpse on the ground. The remnant saber intent from the densely packed saber wounds had yet to scatter, giving off a sizzling sound. "Tell me what happened. I've heard of you. I have been wandering the starry heavens for the past few years. Unexpectedly, I met you in the savage battlefield." Wah! Now that the Blood Demon Royal Hall suffered huge losses, Xiaochen could not absolve himself from the blame. Just thinking about it made him tremble in fear. Even though his personality had changed, it was still difficult for him to let go of the past. No matter how crafty Wang Feng's sword technique was, he could not break through and injure Juanqi at all. A murderous intent flashed in Wang Feng's eyes. He looked in the direction of the voice and saw a purple-clad youth standing on a tall rock in the northwest. A young man dressed in purple stood there. Under the sunlight, his face could not be seen clearly. "Greetings, seniors. It's you, the disciple of the Prime Thunder King. Interesting, a rare sight. A dog-eat-dog battle. If we cannot obtain the evil shadow sword this time, the positions of the 3 crown scions will change. Let's go." 3 sonic booms rang out in the sky. Before the 3 crown scions could react, the ground under them exploded endlessly. Loud explosions resounded, and the entire world started trembling. "That's right. It is because of that protector of yours that we lost our positions." Wang Feng and the other 2 were greatly startled. The 3 people who came were actually 8th Heaven Sovereign Martial Emperors. Furthermore, they were not ordinary Sovereign Martial Emperors. They all had the royal bloodline. In the distance, a girl as gentle as water stood on a green bird, leading more than 1,000 archers of the Haotian sect. These archers held bows and continuously fired arrows. The purple-clad person jumped off the tall rock and revealed his sharp features. Then he said indifferently, "The Thunder and Lightning Palaces in Juanqi, the Blood Demon Royal Hall, and the other 2 Demon Royal Halls were at the bottom of the 18 Demon Royal Halls. The truly problematic ones were the demon elites behind them." Wang Feng and the other 2 crown scions respectfully greeted this person, not daring to make a sound. Otherwise they would definitely hate him for life. This person seemed to be an even more troublesome character to deal with than by Wuxia. Since when did such an expert appear in the Tianwu domain? After saying that, the 3 8th Heaven Demon Martial Emperors started searching for Xiao Chun in the savage battlefield, not wasting a single moment. The purple-clad person on the rock held a whip in his hand. His feet dug into the ground, not moving at all. As the purple-clad person brandished the whip, he stirred up lightning. Thunderclouds filled the sky for 5,000 kilometers around. As the whip moved, it formed an impenetrable defense. His figure flickered in the air, and a scarlet flame burned on his sword as he quickly executed all sorts of sword techniques. "Humph! You will have to take full responsibility. From now on, the efficiency of searching the dragon cave would be greatly reduced. Just thinking about it gave one a headache. In that case, you were the ones who attacked first." Wang Feng could no longer endure it. A scarlet light flashed, and he drew the sword at his waist. Then he sent out a scarlet sword light that looked like a pillar supporting the sky. Blood dyed the sky red, and demonic qi surged. After Xiaochen left, the group of Tianwu domain cultivators who were watching earlier quickly led the Water Moon Alliance's remnant troops away. The middle-aged man in scarlet robes looked at the scene before him with a sullen expression. He radiated might without showing any anger, making Wang Feng feel very nervous. "Yes." Wang Feng's voice turned even softer, becoming less confident. Putting aside the joke for now, and Juanqi did not show much joy as he watched the 3 Demon Royal Halls leave. "It's over. This time, the 3 of us are going to die here." Who exactly are you? Wang Feng asked seriously. Could it be that these three were all here to kill the shadowless saber sovereign? Thunder roared, and 10,000 bolts of lightning descended from the sky. A whip appeared in the purple-clad man's hand. The whip turned into a dragon, looking like a divine dragon swinging its tail. It scattered the scarlet sword light with a loud bang. The impact knocked Wang Feng back. The shadowless saber sovereign could not defeat him, so this random nobody actually dared to jump out. In the demonic world, the 8th Heaven Emperor was already in existence, second only to the demon monarchs. After all, some of the demon monarchs of the demonic world were only 9th Heaven Emperor Wu. We seem to have missed a good show. Someone already rescued by Wuxia. And Juanshi said after he jumped onto the demon corpse and checked for a while. True dragon's rage. Just at this moment, cold laughter rang out at an untimely moment. The tone of the voice was filled with mockery. Black dragon chi drifted endlessly in the sky. Everything looked extremely terrible. Shui Lingling did not have a good impression of Bai Wuxia. Back then, Bai Wuxia had been targeting Xiao Chun, which was still fresh in her mind. Who is it? It could only be said that one should never offend a woman. Well, more accurately, one should never offend a man that a woman liked. And Juanshi's lips curled up slightly. He smiled faintly and said, "Foolish. When did I say that I came alone?" The cultivators of the Thunder and Lightning Palace and the Haotian sect chased relentlessly in the direction of the demon's retreat. Damn it. It's all because of that dog's hit protector of yours. If not for him drawing the shadowless saber sovereign over, we would not be in this state. If they truly wanted to fight, they would have to wait for the various outstanding talents to arrive before they could make a move. The winged demon royal hall's Ishian waved his hand, and the 2,000 demons, who had recovered some combat prowess, charged over. The headache caused by the appearance of the demon sword was just beginning. Wang Feng's expression turned sullen. He said coldly, "What is the point of saying all this now? Quickly reorganize your people and continue searching for the dragon cave, where the demon sword is. You guys suffered great losses, but my blood demon royal hall's losses are not? Go, 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 quickly." The long whip that had created countless illusions suddenly merged, and turned into a roaring lightning dragon, catching Wang Feng off guard and sending him flying again. Of course, this was just what Wang Feng thought. He could only think about it. He absolutely could not say it out loud. The 3 crown scions could no longer care about anything else. They led the remaining demons away in a panic. Suddenly, a blood-red cloud appeared in the sky, as well as a snow-white ice cloud. A familiar aura came from above, and the expressions of the 3 crown scions changed slightly. Wang Feng's royal uncle was the younger brother of the demon monarch. He held a high position in the blood demon world, and possessed overwhelming strength. He was someone who could influence the next demon monarch. The 2 crown scions of the winged demon royal hall and the fire demon royal hall started to blame Wang Feng for being blindly arrogant. This was especially so for the fire demon royal hall's Xian Yan. He burned with rage. His Dao protector died, and he did not know how to account for it when he returned. The white-clad blood demon smiled coldly and said, "If the shadowless saber sovereign were so easy to deal with, the 3 of us would not have to personally make a move. You have high expectations but little ability. Serves you right for being unlucky. Chase. Leave none of the demons alive. Boom. You are seeking death." The 3 crown scions looked into the distance. There were countless birds in the sky, and the archers of the Haotian sect stood there. Dust churned on the ground. A group of Thunder and Lightning Palace cultivators, riding mutated beasts, charged over majestically. The scarlet-robed middle-aged man cursed, "You fools! This shadowless saber sovereign is already considered a sovereign martial emperor demonic genius. To think that you dare to take the initiative to provoke such a person. Serves you right." Chapter 1420. Shui Lingling walked over and looked at the corpse of the demonic dweller on the ground. Looking at the knife wound, she felt that it was somewhat familiar. The shadowless saber sovereign did it? And Juanshi nodded and said, "There is no mistake. It is him, the newly advanced saber sovereign. Aside from the former saber sovereign Wu Xiaotian, no one knows who he is. Right now he is the most mysterious person in the Kunlun realm. However, why did he save Bai Wuxia? He is not related to him at all. And he even killed so many people from the 3 demon royal halls. Even a sovereign martial emperor would not dare to be so ruthless. Is he really not afraid of the demon monarchs taking revenge? Shui Lingling's gentle face revealed a trace of doubt. She could not understand what was going on. Right now, the Kunlun realm and the demonic world had not officially started fighting yet. Some of the truly major characters were hiding behind the scenes. The shadowless saber sovereign had an indescribable tacit understanding with the 18 demon monarchs of the demonic world. However, this shadowless saber sovereign did not care about it. The way he did things was very similar to a certain person in her memory, but, thinking of that person, Shui Lingling felt somewhat sad. For years ago, she had gone to Heavenly Star Island. At that time, Xiaochen had been depressed, filled with guilt. Now that so many years had passed, there was still no news of him. No one knew where he had gone. Although his master said that Xiaochen had undergone a nirvanic rebirth, and that the hidden injuries in his body had been removed, he would no longer have to worry about only having 10 more years of life if he did not advance to Martial Emperor within 5 years. However, he was running away like this, and there was no news of him at all. Did he know that the people who cared about him would be worried? In the past few years, Shui Lingling rarely showed up because of this reason. This time, if Bai Wuxia had not explained the pros and cons and received her master's instructions, she would not have appeared. And Juanxi scratched his head and said, "There are indeed many suspicious points. However, the shadowless saber sovereign's way of doing things has always been unfathomable. There is no need for us to try to guess anything. All we need to know is that he is not an enemy." As he spoke, and Juanxi suddenly realized that Shui Lingling was not listening to him at all, and had sunk into a daze. He could not help smiling bitterly. "Are you thinking of Brother Xiaochen again?" Shui Lingling snapped out of her daze and glared at Juanxi, ignoring him. "Don't worry, Brother Xiaochen is someone with good fortune. Nothing will happen to him. The Kunlun realm is so big. It is normal not to be able to find him. There is no need to worry too much." Shui Lingling glanced at him and said, "Shut up." Whoosh. After speaking, Shui Lingling boarded the black bird and chased after the 3 demon halls. And Juanxi frowned slightly and muttered to himself, "Don't go too deep. Even a cornered dog will jump over a wall. It is impossible for the 3 demon royal halls to not have any trump cards." Xiaochen, who had invited Bai Wuxia out of the carriage, did not know that his 2 old friends had already appeared in the savage battlefield. At this moment, he was cultivating with his eyes closed. Xiaochen was still very interested in what Qingyu said in the Saber Sovereign Medallion. He wanted to refine his primordial energy and push open that door as soon as possible. After continuous tempering, the 1,000 strands of primordial energy in the heart of an emperor had turned from a simple line to a thicker one. The purple primordial energy emitted a faint glow as it revolved around the mysterious emperor's door and soared up and down. The emperor's door remained tightly shut, showing no signs of opening. However, the more it was so, the more curious one was about what would happen after it opened. Would it directly advance to prime, explode, and die? Or would it open a completely different path? The unknown always piqued one's curiosity and interest. After circulating his primordial energy for 1 minor cycle, Xiaochen stopped cultivating. After all, the savage battlefield was not very safe. He could not truly cultivate or circulate his primordial energy. Where should he go next? This was a question worth thinking about. Honestly speaking, Xiaochen was rather interested in the dragon burial mound. At the very least, the true dragon remains were very attractive to him, who cultivated the blue dragon body nourishing art. Xiaochen's physical body had been strengthened 9 times on the Bloody Emperor's road. It was now comparable to the Golden Emperor Emperor Wu's body, which was a sovereign martial emperor. As a result, Xiaochen's cultivation of the blue dragon body nourishing art was filled with bumps. Even now he had not broken through to the 3rd layer. The reason for this was not hard to explain. It was simply the strengthening of his physical body, which had a higher requirement for advancing. To Xiaochen, treasures like dragon bones were not enough, no matter how many he had. However, There would still be opportunities in the future. Right now, he had to leave this troublesome place first. Just as Xiao Chen prepared to leave, two extremely strong auras suddenly encased this place, directly sealing off space. Xiao Chen's expression did not change. The 7 divine weapons of the Cycle War Chariot trembled slightly, and the curtains moved without any wind. Whoosh! 2 figures descended from the sky. One was wearing a blood-red robe, and was obviously the emperor of the blood demon race. The other was wearing a white robe and had a cold expression. The purple mark on his forehead looked like it was burning with an icy fire. 8th Heaven Sovereign Martial Emperor. Xiao Chen felt somewhat startled. However, he soon calmed down. The Blood Demon Monarch and the Snow Demon Monarch moved really fast. Xiao Chen had just arrived in the savage battlefield, and they already discovered him. They were also very generous, directly using 8th Heaven Sovereign Martial Emperors. If Xiao Chen got careless and fell in the Kunlun realm, the 2 demon monarchs would feel heartache. Be it in the Kunlun realm or the demonic world, the 8th Heaven Emperor Wu was someone who stood at the top of the pyramid. At the crucial moment, he could take charge. Xiao Chen did not panic. Although the 8th Heaven Emperor Wu could not defeat the Blood Demon Monarch, there were still many ways for him to leave. Shadowless Saber Sovereign, there is no need to say more about why we are looking for you. Hand over the Destruction Throne and the Eternal Ice and swear not to interfere in the fight between the Kunlun realm and the demonic world. Then, the grudge between you and the demonic world will be settled. Wang Feng's monarch uncle, the Blood Shadow Sovereign, said directly. The white-clad snow demon did not say anything. However, a clump of icy flame burned ferociously in his palm. The temperature immediately plummeted, and snow fell from the sky. Rocks continuously froze on the ground. Then, under the pressure of the Emperor's might, they exploded into ice shards. It was clear that the Blood Shadow Sovereign was prepared to make a move at any moment, not wanting to communicate with Xiao Chen. Xiao Chen frowned slightly. He realized that these 2 8th Heaven Emperor Wu were extraordinary. They were far from being ordinary sovereign martial emperors. They were much stronger than the Fire Demon Royal Hall's Tao Protector. It looks like the demonic world is getting serious. They view me as a thorn in their side and need to be eliminated. The 2 of you are already major characters of the demonic world. Why are you coming to the Kunlun realm so casually? Are you not afraid of being killed by primes? Xiao Chen tried to stall for time as he thought of countermeasures. The Blood Shadow Sovereign smiled and said, "We might not dare to come to deal with others. However, to deal with someone like you with a strange background and no background, which prime would be willing to make a move for you?" These words made some sense. Just as Xiao Chen was about to reply, he suddenly felt that something was wrong. Boom! Xiao Chen saw a patch of icy clouds shatter in the sky. An Iron Demon Emperor Wu clenched his fist and descended from the sky, looking like a falling heavenly mountain. What a fellow! It turns out that the white-clad snow demon's trick was to conceal the existence of this Iron Demon, so that he can deal a killing blow to me. 8th Heaven Emperor Wu. The other party had no intention of letting Xiao Chen live. Even if he handed over the Destruction Throne, he would continue to be chased. By stalling for time, Xiao Chen was giving the other party a chance, falling into their trap. Before Xiao Chen could think, the Iron Demon's attack was too coincidental. Right above the Cycle War Chariot, there was a loud sound as the Iron Demon's fist, which flickered with a metallic light, landed on the Cycle War Chariot. Kasie! Kai! This punch instantly smashed the Cycle War Chariot into the ground. Dust flew into the air, and the terrain changed beyond recognition in an instant. Icy Demonic Flame Sword. The white-clad snow demon attacked at nearly the same time. The snow filling the air gathered into a sword burning with a black, icy flame. Then, he thrust it ferociously in the direction of the Cycle War Chariot. The sword was 1 kilometer long, standing upright on the ground. Ice sealed the area for 5,000 kilometers around. A cold wind howled and snow flew wildly. Whoosh! Whoosh! 3 figures flickered and arrived at the place where the icy demonic flame sword stabbed. Then they sent out their mental energy and quickly checked on Xiao Chen's condition. Hee. Is he dead yet? The 8th Heaven Iron Demon chuckled foolishly. The white-clad snow demon said, He won't die that easily. That war chariot of his is no ordinary treasure. However, even if he doesn't die, he will be severely injured. He is not a ninth heaven martial emperor. I found him. However, his mental energy is isolated. I don't know his current condition, the Blood Shadow Sovereign said with a grave expression. Good. In that case, let's send him on his way. The white-clad snow demon leaped into the air and landed on the icy demonic flame sword. Then the tall sword quickly stabbed into the ground. Chapter 14:21. As that huge icy demonic flame sword slowly sank into the soil, cold chi spread deep into the ground. Layer by layer, the soil froze into ice. The plain turned into frozen soil, spreading for 5,000 kilometers around. The white-clad snow demon intended to kill Xiaochen, and did not hold back at all. He stood on the hilt of that huge ice sword with a frosty expression, showing no emotion at all. The Blood Shadow Sovereign and the Iron Demon each guarded a direction with grave expressions. They did not dare to relax, keeping their guard up against Xiaochen breaking out of the ground at any time. Although the soil was already frozen and the cold chi was startling, the chances of Xiaochen breaking out of the ground were slim. However, the two did not relax at all. Even a lion would use its full power when hunting a rabbit. Even though these three Eighth Heaven Emperor Wu held a huge advantage, they were not arrogant at all. It had to be said that the older the ginger, the spicier it was. Their mental state was far from what the younger generation Emperor Wu could compare to. Deep underground, in the war chariot, Xiaochen's entire body was covered in a layer of frost. His lips were frighteningly pale. A scarlet bloodstain on his frost-covered lips was exceptionally eye-catching. This injury came from the Eighth Heaven Emperor Wu's Iron Demon descending from the sky and injuring him. Xiaochen had already experienced the strength of the Iron Demon once before. This time, it was truly an unintentional fight against an intentional one. Unexpectedly, the other party thought so highly of him, actually sending three Eighth Heaven Emperor Wu emperors. What was even more serious was the cold chi in his body. That white-clad snow demon was a sovereign martial emperor, who comprehended the ice domain. Since the Shadowless Saber Sovereign made his debut as the Shadowless Saber Sovereign, this was the greatest danger he encountered. It would not be an exaggeration to say that his life was hanging by a thread. What should I do? Many plans flashed in Xiaochen's mind, but they were quickly rejected. At this critical moment, Xiaochen's thoughts moved like lightning, remaining calm and unperturbed. Xiaochen closed his eyes and quickly thought, I have to get out first. Otherwise, if I remain trapped here, I will die for sure. However, the cold chi in the surroundings made the frozen ground as hard as steel, like a cage. Suddenly, Xiaochen thought of an idea. He opened his eyes, and a bright light flashed in them. A clump of flame appeared in his palm, the heavenly snow divine flame. On the ground, Taimo smiled and said, It looks like he won't be able to come out. This is great. He died a very sullen death. The Blood Shadow Sovereign also heaved a sigh of relief. If the Shadowless Saber Sovereign could charge out, he would have done so long ago. The cold air was getting colder and colder, and the frozen ground was so hard that it gave him a headache. He had already missed the best chance to get out. However, all this was within the plan. The Iron Demon's punch descending from the sky was the start of killing the Shadowless Saber Sovereign. Where did the water come from? While Taimo's eyes were darting around, he noticed something sticky under his feet. Upon closer inspection, he discovered that it was actually water. He was baffled. Water. The Blood Shadow King's expression changed drastically. How could there be water? His old friend, Bing Ling, was one of the top 10 existences of the Snow Demon race. The frozen ground that he froze with cold chi actually melted and produced water? On the ice sword, the white-clad Snow Demon did not believe it at all. That's impossible. Who can dissolve my cold chi? That Shadowless Saber Sovereign does not cultivate the fire Dao. Boom! Before the white-clad Snow Demon finished speaking, there was a loud sound. With the ice sword as the center, the surrounding 5,000 kilometers exploded. The icy demonic flame sword broke into countless pieces, and the ice demonic flame gathered in the white-clad Snow Demon's palm. The white-clad Snow Demon waved his long sleeves, and the ice fragments containing saber intent were swept aside. When the dust settled and the ice melted, a throne appeared before the three. The masked shadowless saber sovereign sat on the throne. Die. A murderous intent flashed in the white-clad snow demon's eyes. The icy demonic flame in his hand changed continuously, materializing a black deep abyss demonic beast that looked like a ferocious dog. Then it roared and charged at Xiaoqin. Xiaoqin waved his hand, and the heavenly snow divine flame shot out like a flash of cold light. Then something strange happened. The heavenly snow divine flame instantly burned the black deep abyss demonic beast, revealing the icy demonic flame's origin flame. It struggled continuously, trying to escape the heavenly snow divine flame's torture. On the other side, the Iron Demons and the Blood Shadow Sovereign's attacks instantly arrived. The Blood Shadow Sovereign held up his scarlet sword and thrust it out. It was even faster than Graceful Feather, and sword intent surged. The surrounding heavens and earth buzzed under the influence of this sword intent. The entire world was trembling, and this was just the might of a single sword. On the throne, Xiaoqin remained calm. The lunar true flame and the solar true flame shot out of his eyes. He extended a finger with his left hand, and the Taiji Yin-Yang flame diagram appeared from nowhere, blocking this sword strike. As Xiaoqin drew the Taiji Yin-Yang flame diagram, his right hand did not remain idle either. He ferociously slapped the black dragon armrest. The 7 divine weapons unsheathed at the same time, and flew into the sky. Dang! Dang! The 7 divine weapons knocked back the Iron Demon, who was sneak attacking from the sky. When the Iron Demon landed, it blasted a huge pit in the ground, kicking up a cloud of dust. All this happened in one breath of time. The attacks of the 3 sovereign personages and Emperor Wu were all lethal, filled with killing intent. Any one of them would cause one's body to perish and lose their life. But in the end, Xiaoqin blocked all of them. The mountains will not change, and the rivers will flow forever. We will meet again. I will return everything that happened today sooner or later, Xiaoqin said expressionlessly. With a xiao sound, the throne split into 3 and flew into the distance. The Iron Demon got up from the pit. When he saw the throne split into 3, he felt dazzled. He asked in a daze, "How did it become 3? Damn it, he got away." The Blood Shadow Monarch gnashed his teeth and said resentfully. The white-clad snow demon withdrew his ice flame, feeling some lingering fear in his heart. He now knew how the shadowless saber sovereign had broken his ice domain. The flame in his hand is a mysterious flame that is even stronger than the eternal ice. If I'm not wrong, it should be a primal chaos-level flame. Greed flashed across the white-clad snow devil's eyes as he analyzed calmly. The Blood Shadow King said, "What should we do now? He will definitely be more cautious later on. With the speed of that throne, it will be very difficult to catch him. The opportunity is right before us," the white-clad snow demon said sullenly. "He is already an arrow at the end of its flight. My cold chi is no joke." That big fellow's punch was not light either. Earlier he received 3 moves from us. While he looked relaxed, it should be his final trump card. As the Blood Shadow King listened to the white-clad snow demon's analysis, his eyes grew increasingly brighter. He said, "Good, let's split up and give chase." "Which direction should I go?" the big iron demon asked somewhat confusedly. The Blood Shadow King closed his eyes and sensed. Then he pointed in the most unlikely direction and said, "You chase in that direction then." The direction was straight ahead. If Xiaoqin really went in that direction, he was too bold. Great. After finding a direction, the Iron Demon rejoiced, not caring about anything else as he directly gave chase. However, the Blood Shadow King and the white-clad snow demon seemed to have a tacit understanding, and did not move. It was like they were not in a rush to give chase. Who knew what they were thinking? After a moment of silence, the white-clad snow demon took out an oath stone. Then he looked at the Blood Shadow King and said, "Let's swear to each other that no matter who catches up to the shadowless saber sovereign, we cannot kill him. We have to wait for you and me to meet up before we can split all the treasures on him." The Blood Shadow King smiled sinisterly and said, "That suits me." After the 2 swore, they chased after the shadowless saber sovereign at lightning-fast speed. Instantly, they overtook the big iron demon, who had set off first, shocking the other party. After chasing for 1 day and 1 night, the Blood Shadow King, who had the fastest movement technique, caught up to the Shadowless Saber Sovereign and his throne first. In the end, when the Blood Shadow King casually thrust his sword over, the throne and the Shadowless Saber Sovereign turned into ice shards filling the air and scattering the ground. The Blood Shadow King's excited face immediately sank. He knew that he had been tricked. The Shadowless Saber Sovereign's true body should be in the direction that the white-clad snow demon was chasing. As for the direction of the big iron demon, the Blood Shadow King did not hold much hope. However, the results exceeded his expectations. After half a day, the white-clad snow demon also caught up to his target. In the end, it was also a fake clone. After the sky turned dark, the two met up. When they saw each other's disappointed expression, they knew the result without needing to say anything. In the end, we ended up letting this fellow off easy. If only he had used the Oath Stone as well, the white-clad snow demon said regretfully. Of course, the person the white-clad snow demon was referring to was the big iron demon. However, the Blood Shadow King did not hold much hope. Even if the iron demon could catch up, it would be hard for him to keep the Shadowless Saber Sovereign here. In the end, the Shadowless Saber Sovereign still managed to escape. There would not be such an opportunity again. Chapter 1422. Suddenly, a strange ice sculpture appeared in the vast desolate plain. It would be hard for it not to attract attention. This group of cultivators from the Hautian sect came from the main sect. Their destination was the chaotic dragon burial mound. The leader of this group was the Battle Realm Situ Gang. In the past, he had a grudge with Xiaochun in the Hautian sect. Senior brother Situ, what should we do with this ice sculpture? The group of Hautian sect disciples surrounding the ice sculpture did not know what to do. Without even looking closely, they could feel the extraordinary aura of the ice sculpture from a distance. Now that the savage battlefield is in chaos, this ice sculpture might be a treasure from the ancient era. Or perhaps it is the corpse of an ancient powerhouse sealed in ice for some reason. That is very possible. I don't even dare to get too close. It is so cold that it makes my heart palpitate. There is a sense of danger. How about we give up? Perhaps it is something ominous that came from underground. Everyone discussed this. Situ Gang remained silent. If it really was a treasure, they might miss out on a fortuitous encounter if they parted here. However, if it really was an ominous object, it would bring trouble. This would be difficult to deal with. Move aside. Situ Gang showed a sullen expression as he gestured for the crowd to move back. When the other disciples saw that he was about to make a move, they quickly retreated. 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps. After moving back more than 100 steps, Situ Gang shouted and punched. The fist light blazed, and a blazing flame lit up the place, looking piercing and dazzling. Whoosh! The flaming fist light struck the ice sculpture. With a PU, flames spread out on the ice sculpture, burning it up. No matter what you are, after the ice melts, you will be able to reveal yourself. Situ Gang crossed his arms and muttered to himself. After a while, the flames extinguished, and Situ Gang's expression changed slightly. Despite the intense flames, the ice did not show any signs of melting. It was like it had never changed since ancient times. It is indeed an ancient powerhouse. Senior brother Situ's heaven-burning fist could even boil a lake. Unexpectedly, it did not move at all. Let's go. This is too strange. Situ Gang lowered his hand and said, Never mind, I'll put it away first. When I see first senior sister, I'll let her take a look. Whoosh! Situ Gang walked forward and tried to use his spatial ring to store the entire ice sculpture. In the end, it did not work at all. The ice sculpture could not be absorbed by the spatial ring. Seems like it really is the corpse of an ancient powerhouse. Even after being dead for so long, it still has its own power. Situ Gang's expression turned solemn. He knew very well what the complete body of an ancient almighty represented. Disregarding everything else, just the shell alone was definitely a golden archbone. If he could melt this ice and discover 1 or 2 ancient Tharch treasures, that would be a great fortuitous encounter. Situ Gang took out a piece of black cloth and covered the ice sculpture. He pointed and said, "The few of you carry the ice sculpture. Hurry up and meet up with eldest senior sister." Just like that, this group of Supreme Sky Sect disciples treated Xiao Chun as the corpse of an ancient powerhouse and carried him away. If he was not, he would not know. Half a day later, Situ Gang's group met up with Shui Lingling and Juanxi and the others in a corner of the dragon burial mound. "Situ Gang, what are you getting people to carry? Is it the secret weapon of the Haotian sect, prepared for the elites of the 18 demon royal halls?" And Juanxi asked with a smile, filled with ridicule, when he saw the ice sculpture being carried by several people. Shui Lingling frowned and asked, "Situ Gang, what is this?" Situ Gang immediately explained how he discovered the ice sculpture and its mysteries in detail. "There is such a thing? This is good stuff. Take off the black cloth and let me take a look. What is so miraculous about this ice sculpture?" And Juanxi's eyes lit up as he jumped down and asked excitedly. Whoosh! When the black cloth was taken off, cold chi surged out, making everyone shiver involuntarily. Instantly, the many cultivators of the Haotian sect and the Thunder and Lightning Palace were attracted to this ice sculpture. A person who dares to travel with a throne must have had a noble status during the ancient era. He must have been a sovereign martial emperor at the very least. The sovereign martial emperors of the ancient era were even more incredible than they are now. At that time, experts were as common as clouds. Becoming a sovereign martial emperor would have been as difficult as ascending to heaven. We really picked up a treasure. Just this ice that has not melted for 10,000 years already shows how extraordinary it is. Not to mention, the pressure from the throne still hasn't dissipated yet. The more the crowd observed, the more they felt this throne to be mysterious. Furthermore, with their first impressions, they felt even more reverence for it. Pa. And Juanxi took out the true dragon lightning whip and swung it twice. He had a smile on his face as he prepared to test this ice sculpture to see if it was as miraculous as Situ Gang said. Move back. Move back. Senior brother and is going to make a move." The crowd quickly moved back, not daring to hinder in Juanxi's attack. Even so, they showed some anticipation in their eyes. "Hey, what are you doing? This is the corpse of an ancient person. Don't be disrespectful to the predecessors." At the crucial moment, Shui Lingling frowned and scolded, saving Xiaochun from being whipped. If she really whipped Xiaochun a few times, he would only be able to swallow the bitter pill when he woke up. No matter what, he would not make a move on his friends. Fortunately, first senior sister was here, and Juanxi smiled embarrassedly. "I was too anxious. Shui Lingling, you are right. However, what should we do with this ice sculpture? The encirclement of the 3 demon royal halls is already at its final stage. We cannot take care of him. What if other people with ill intentions discover it? That would be even more problematic." Shui Lingling sized up the ice sculpture and entered deep thought. She found this silhouette somewhat familiar. After thinking for a while, she waved her hand and said, "Get someone to carry it. This ice sculpture has an extraordinary background. Just that throne alone is definitely extraordinary. Situ Gang, it's up to you. Carry it properly and don't lose it." Situ Gang's foolish expression immediately changed. "First senior sister, I'm not here for this. Cut it out. I told you to carry it, so carry it. Stop being so long-winded. If you lose this ice sculpture, I'll settle the score with you." Shui Lingling left no room for doubt, handing this task to Situ Gang. Whoosh! Just at this moment, scarlet fireworks rose up in every corner of the sky. They were as red as blood, looking very beautiful. After the fireworks rose up, a boundless battle hunger soared up in every direction. The demon royal halls quickly advanced, slowly shrinking the encirclement. Shui Lingling waved her hand, and scarlet fireworks rose up in the sky as well. "Let's go. It's time to rendezvous with the people of the other sections. We have to eliminate the 3 demon royal halls before the other demon royal halls arrive." More and more fireworks rose up, looking like scarlet flowers filling the sky. Along with the blood, a strong fighting spirit surged endlessly in the sky. When the 3 crown scions of the 3 demon royal halls saw the scarlet fireworks filling the sky, they felt like it was the end of the world. Half a month ago, The appearance of the Haotian sect and the Thunder and Lightning Palace put the three demon royal halls on the run. However, they were still able to deal with them. However, as more and more outstanding talents arrived, the days slowly became harder. When the leaders of the Heavenly Starry Ocean, the Dark Sea, the Fiend Domain, and the Ghost Domain all gathered, the three demon royal halls were surrounded and trapped in this dragon burial mound. Furthermore, the remaining 15 demon royal halls had yet to arrive, making everyone even more horrified. All this is because of the Shadowless Saber Sovereign. If not for the Shadowless Saber Sovereign crippling our factions, we would not be in such a passive position. The Winged Demon Halls, Yixian said through gritted teeth. Stop complaining. Let's think of a way. If this goes on, we'll all die here. The Fire Demon Royal Halls, Xian Yin said. Don't worry, your highnesses. We will definitely protect your highnesses. The two protectors stepped forward and comforted them. To be honest, the three princes weren't worried about their own safety. What they were worried about was losing troops and failing the mission. After returning to the Devil World, no one would be willing to lose the position of highness. As they spoke, more and more people gathered around them. Slowly, they stacked on top of one another, covering the sky and the ground. The figures of the Kunlun realm cultivators surrounded the people of the three demon royal halls, leaving them impenetrable. A suffocating feeling spread through the hearts of the demons. Everyone felt a huge pressure. Your highnesses, we have come to an agreement. If you are willing to reveal the secret of the evil shadow sword, we can let the three of you leave safely. Chu Yang, the Zodiac Hall Saint, said as he stood on a war chariot surrounded by stars, the sun and the moon. Chapter 14:23. Everyone knew that the three demon royal halls were the vanguard, here to scout out the evil shadow sword. However, they did not know what was going on with the evil shadow sword. What were its characteristics? How to retrieve it after finding it? How to recognize a master after retrieving it? To the many outstanding talents of the Kunlun realm, these were all secrets. Even the outstanding talents of the Kunlun realm were interested in the evil shadow sword. Who could be sure that the evil shadow sword was useless to the cultivators of the Kunlun realm? Furthermore, this evil shadow sword was in the Kunlun realm in the first place. Many people took it for granted that this was their treasure. Facing Chu Yang's accusation, the Blood Demon Royal Hall's Wang Feng smiled coldly and said, "The Sun Palace's Chu Yang, you want to target the evil shadow sword? You are not qualified. Even at death's door, you demons still dare to be so stubborn. You are truly reckless." The one who spoke was the Dark Sea's Sima Lingxian. This genius of the sword Dao came from the Sky Dome realm together with Xiao Chun. Now he had completely matured and became the leader of the Dark Sea, rising rapidly in this golden age. The moment Sima Lingxian spoke, the many cultivators of the Dark Sea immediately responded. "I'll give you 7 or 8 minutes to consider. Otherwise, none of you will be able to leave. All of you will die," Chu Yang said indifferently. Then he closed his eyes and did not say anything, acting like the leader of everyone here. On the Haotian sect's side, and Juanqi's lips curled up as he said, "This Chu Yang really thinks that he is our leader. It looks like things are going smoothly for the Heavenly Starry Ocean, and he is somewhat inflated. After all, not a single person from the deity Dao Union has reached the Dao yet." Shui Lingling looked around and said softly, "This is somewhat problematic. He is too eager for the evil shadow sword. My master said that the evil shadow sword's demonic chi is startling. If one is not careful, the demonic chi will rebound and fall into the demonic Dao." The crown scions of the three demon royal halls quickly discussed countermeasures. "We absolutely cannot reveal the secret of the evil shadow sword. Otherwise, not only will we lose our positions as crown scions, but we will also lose our lives. However, what should we do now? This Chu Yang is so eager, not giving us a chance at all. This fellow is just a clown." If any of the crown scions of the Celestial Demon Royal Hall, Snow Demon Royal Hall, Earth Demon Royal Hall, or Shadow Demon Royal Hall were here, how could they allow him to be so arrogant? If it comes to it, we can only leave on our own. Informing the crown scions of the other demon royal halls about the news of the demon sword is also considered a meritorious deed. What a pity. The elites of our demon hall are going to fall here. Look at that Chuyang. He's so proud and arrogant. I can make use of him before I leave. After a moment of discussion, the three princes came up with an idea. Even though they were the princes at the bottom, the three of them were extremely decisive and had the spirit of a big shot. Speaking of which, the three demon royal halls were really unlucky. If they had not been crippled by Xiao Chun at the start, the three demon royal halls would not have suffered such a fate. However, there was nothing to complain about his bad luck. Xiao Chun had also nearly died in the savage battlefield, because he made a move. Comparatively speaking, everything was fair. Chuyang, we promised to tell you the secret of the evil shadow sword. However, you have to promise to let the three of us go. The Blood Demon Royal Hall's sovereign said loudly with a strange expression in his eyes. On the war chariot in the Zodiac Hall, Chuyang said indifferently, "Don't worry. As long as you tell me the secret of the evil shadow sword, I will definitely let the three of you go. Before so many outstanding talents, I cannot go back on my word." Good. If you have the courage, then come over. I will tell you the secret of the evil shadow sword, Wang Feng said seriously. Chuyang sneered in his heart. He was not afraid at all. Be careful, Saintess Fu Hongyao said with concern. It's okay. Elder Hong will accompany me. Chuyang said softly. After he finished speaking, two figures descended from the sun chariot. One was Chuyang, and the other was an old man from the Zodiac Hall with an unfathomable cultivation base. The gazes of the various outstanding talents all landed on Chuyang. At this moment, not many people were willing to take the risk. Chuyang dared to go alone, which was exactly what they wanted. They didn't have to worry about him knowing the secret and not telling them. Just the Zodiac Hall alone would not be able to do whatever they wanted in this savage battlefield. Everyone needed to work together for there to be any hope. Shui Lingling, what do you think? And Juanqi asked as he stared at Chu Yang's back. Shui Lingling replied indifferently, "It's fine. Master only said not to let the demons obtain the evil shadow sword. It is not a bad thing for us that Chuyang is willing to stand up for us. As for what he thinks, that is his problem." Some people, like Shui Lingling, did not care. However, there were also some people who felt dissatisfied with Chuyang standing up for them, feeling that he was being too high-profile. The crown science of the 18 demon royal halls did not submit to anyone. The outstanding talents of the Kunlun realm were similarly proud, not feeling that they were inferior to Chuyang. Brother Chu is really courageous. You truly live up to being the leader of the heavenly starry ocean. It looks like the outstanding talents of the heavenly starry ocean are all convinced by you. It looks like there is some truth to this, the Blood Demon Royal Hall's Wang Feng said with a strange smile. The Winged Demon Royal Hall's Yi Xian, who was at the side, smiled coldly and said, "Tell the old man beside you not to move. Come over alone. Don't worry. The three of us will not bring our Tao protectors." Chuyang waved his hand and got the old man beside him to stop. Then he stepped forward alone. The three crown scions and Chuyang approached each other alone, not bringing their Tao protectors. The atmosphere immediately turned somewhat tense. Everyone felt that such a scene was somewhat strange. And Juanqi exchanged glances with Shui Lingling, and his expression turned grave. He extended his hand and made a gesture. The cultivators of the Thunder and Lightning Palace all placed their hands on their weapons and silently gathered their auras. The cultivators of the Haotian sect also drew their bows and slowly gathered their killing qi. Sima Lingxian whispered a few words to the descendant of a great bandit beside him. The cultivators from the Black Sea all held their breaths and focused, preparing to attack at any moment. Clearly something was wrong. No one here was stupid. From the moment the Winged Demon Royal Hall's Yi Xian asked Chuyang to go alone, the situation had changed. Demons were naturally crafty. This was not the first time the outstanding talents here had interacted with these demons. However, Chuyang suffered. At this moment he was pushed to the front, unable to advance or retreat. He could only brace himself and go forward. If he retreated, it would be Chuyang going back on his word, being a coward. The tense atmosphere made the air somewhat heavy, making breathing somewhat difficult. At the back of the Haotian sect's group, When Situgang saw the tense atmosphere, the rage in his heart flared up. Situgang came from the battle realms of the 3,000 lower realms, and was naturally fond of fighting. When he thought about how he could not participate in this situation, and could only guard this ice sculpture, he immediately felt depressed. Why did I have to carry you back for no reason? Why did I make things difficult for myself? Situgang said speechlessly as he looked at the black cloth covering the ice sculpture beside him. As Chuyang approached the three-crowned scions, the tense atmosphere became almost suffocating. However, Chuyang acted like he did not know anything, continuing to walk forward as if nothing had happened. Wang Feng and the other two felt somewhat nervous. As they watched Chuyang approach, they slowed down even more, slowly accumulating primordial energy in their bodies. However, no matter how slow they moved, they would eventually meet. Before everyone's eyes, Chuyang and the three demons finally approached each other, facing each other. Speak then. You can tell me the secret of the evil shadow sword now, Chuyang said indifferently. Wang Feng smiled coldly and said, You fool, do you really think? However, right after Chuyang spoke, a bright golden light suddenly shot out from his body. His body burned like the sun. Boundless heat waves and surging golden light caught the three-crowned scions off guard. Their eyes were pierced by the light, inflicting incredible pain. Chuyang charged forward at lightning speed. In the time it took for a spark to fly, he grabbed Wang Feng by the neck and lifted him up. Golden light shone from Chuyang's palm, burning Wang Feng in incredible pain. All this happened in an instant. The three-crowned scions had not expected Chuyang to make the first move. While they were thinking to themselves, attack together and take down Chuyang in an instant. The situation turned around in such an inconceivable manner. The Fire Demon Royal Hall's Xianyan and the Winged Demon Royal Hall's Yixian felt a piercing pain in their eyes. They retreated in fright, not daring to linger at all. Do you think I do not know what you are planning? I never thought I'd get anything out of you. Chuyang attacked coldly, not giving that Blood Demon Royal Hall's Dao Protector a chance to save Wang Feng. The dense solar true flame burned Wang Feng to ashes. Chapter 1424. Unlike Xiaochun, Chuyang was proficient in solar true fire, and he had been cultivating in the Solar Star Palace since he was young. Most of the martial techniques that Xiaochun practiced were related to the solar true flame. After advancing to Martial Emperor, his usage of the solar true flame advanced by leaps and bounds. However, in terms of Sunreal Fire, not only was Chuyang's Sunreal Fire inferior to Xiaochun's, but the methods he used were also incomparable to Xiaochun's. Aside from the cyclic Astral Lord, it would not be an exaggeration to say that Xiaochun was the strongest cultivator of the solar true flame in the Kunlun realm. Caught off guard, the Blood Demon Royal Hall's Wang Feng got burned by Xiaochun's solar true flame. It would be hard for him not to die. Flames still burned on the ashes on the ground. One could see traces of blood being vaporized by the flames. His death was very unjust. He originally thought that he could trick Chuyang, but who knew that he would be tricked by Chuyang instead? Cleverness can be ruined by one's own cleverness. This was the current situation. Wang Feng, who had committed so many evil deeds in the Kunlun realm, died a worthy death. But in the eyes of his Dao protector, this was a gargantuan matter. He was completely stupefied. You actually killed His Highness. The Blood Demon Sovereign will make you wish you were dead. The Guardian shouted as he flew towards Chuyang in a crazed manner. Hua! A figure blocked in front of Chuyang. It was the old man from the Zodiac Hall. He steadily received this palm strike and forced Chuyang back. The Blood Demon Monarch isn't that capable. I, the Star Lord of Zodiac Hall, welcome the Blood Demon Monarch at any time. The old man stood in front of Chu Chaoyan and said in an imposing manner. When the Blood Demon Royal Hall's Dao Protector saw that this person's cultivation was similar to his, he immediately knew that there was no chance of killing Chuyang, so he quickly retreated. A great battle was about to break out. In the sky, a dense mass of people rushed over with surging killing intent. Dust churned on the ground, and a strong fighting spirit soared into the sky. The outstanding talents of the Kunlun realm prepared to capture the remnant troops of the 3 demon royal halls, who were at the end of their rope. Your Highnesses, we can't stay here for long. Let's leave quickly. The demons of the demon royal halls surrounded the 2 crowned scions of the winged demon royal hall and the fire demon royal hall, protecting them. Seeing Wang Feng turn into ashes in the distance, the 2, who had recovered their vision, felt fear in their hearts. Everyone says that we demons are vicious and merciless, cunning and ever-changing. The outstanding talents of this Kunlun realm are truly not inferior at all. Xianyan rubbed his somewhat piercing eyes, still feeling some lingering fear. Yixian shook his head. This time I've completely failed. I shouldn't have been greedy. The 3 demon crown scions all had their own trump cards, so they did not have to worry about protecting themselves. Before he left, he wanted to do something big, but he was tricked instead. Sounds of fighting resounded. The demons in the outermost ring had already started fighting with the Kunlun realm cultivators. The huge disadvantage in numbers caused this group of demons to be utterly defeated, suffering heavy casualties. This was the result of the greater outstanding talents watching coldly from the side, not making a move. The phrase at the end of the road applied to the 3 demon royal halls. The world was like a game of chess, unfathomable. Back then, the 3 demon royal halls worked together to ambush and defeat the Water Moon Alliance. Now the situation remained the same. It was just that they were the ones being ambushed. The 2 crowned scions watched helplessly as their subordinates were killed. They felt dissatisfied in their hearts, but they could not do anything about it. Let's go. This time, our 3 demon royal halls came to scout. The worst-case scenario was a complete wipeout. However, things went too smoothly at the start, so we got carried away, Xianyan said with a sigh. Yixian nodded and said, Fortunately, we found the location of the evil shadow sword. We made up for our mistakes. After saying that, a talisman appeared in each of the 2's hands. The talismans gave off a bright light. After they activated them, a dazzling and complicated formation appeared under the 2's feet. Oh no! These 2 are leaving. And Juanxi said with a frown. These 2 had killed many outstanding talents in the Tianwu domain, even doing many overboard things. He was truly dissatisfied with just leaving like that. Shui Lingling was rather calm. As crowned scions of the demon royal halls, they definitely have some trump cards for survival. If I'm not wrong, those should be astral talismans that can send them to the astral battlefield. The astral battlefield was now the main camp of the Deep Abyss demonic world in the Kunlun realm. Once they reached there, they would basically be safe. You want to leave? It's not that simple. Chu Yang seemed to have anticipated this. He leaped into the air and hovered in the air. Then he quickly formed hand seals. Great Sun's heavenly might seal. A bright golden light shot out from Chu Yang's body, and a piercing solar true flame burned all over his body. In an instant his hair, clothes and body all started burning. A bright sun appeared in the sky, shining down a dazzling light. The light was too bright, covering the radiance of the sun and scattering the clouds for 5,000 kilometers around. In the pitch-black universe, the boundless starry heavens and the thousands of stars looked like bright pearls. For a moment, everyone had an illusion. It was as if they could leap into the sky and pluck down the stars with their hands. Oh no! He locked down the starry heavens. It's over. Are we all going to die here? The 2 crowned scions were horrified to discover that their astral talismans were ineffective. Their surefire trump card was useless. How strong? How exactly does this Chu Yang cultivate? He is probably as strong as a sovereign martial emperor already. When several people saw this scene, they felt startled. They had long heard that the heavenly starry ocean's Chu Yang was ridiculously strong. The various holy scions of the heavenly starry ocean had all been convinced by him, and were willing to follow his lead. Now that they saw it, it was indeed so. In the earlier scene, when Chu Yang killed Wang Feng, there was an element of trickery in it. However, this time he used his own strength to lock down this part of the starry heavens. There was no trickery at all. Capture them alive. Immediately, the crowd's morale soared. Several outstanding talents personally made a move, all for the sake of capturing these 2 crowned scions alive. Kasie, Kasie. Just at this moment, the sound of the night sky shattering came from the sky. A patch of dark clouds covered the sky and sun, blocking out all the starlight. Snowflakes fell to the ground, and the scorching temperature in the air quickly dropped. A figure arrived from beyond the sky, tearing through the dark clouds and flying towards the radiant Chu Yang amid the wind and snow. Flames condensed, and Chu Yang reverted to his original form. Before he could react, he clashed with this mysterious demon. Bang, bang, bang. The two quickly exchanged moves. Every time they exchanged a move, a loud sound rang out in the surroundings. The shock waves blasted out huge pits in the vast ground, sending rocks flying into the air. The cultivators below turned chaotic as they quickly dodged. The mysterious demon attacked too quickly. The crowd could not help Chu Yang, only able to watch him fight this demon. With every exchange, Chu Yang moved back a step. After 10 moves, Chu Yang had already moved back 10 kilometers, his aura no longer at all. Solar true flame, blazing sun in the sky. Chu Yang roared ferociously. Motes of flames appeared in the surroundings and quickly gathered above his head. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. In a moment, a resplendent sun appeared above Chu Yang's head, regaining his aura. However, good things did not last. The mysterious demon sent out a palm strike, and the wind and snow in the air gathered in it. In the blink of an eye, the sun formed by the palm strike shattered, turning into countless fireballs that fell to the ground. This palm strike knocked Chu Yang into the air, causing him to vomit a mouthful of blood. We are saved. The Snow Demon Royal Hall's crown scion is here. When Xian Yan and Yi Xian saw the white-clad person in the sky, their faces lit up with joy. Since the Snow Demon Royal Hall's crown scion is here, the people of the other Demon Royal Halls should be here as well. A hidden murderous intent flashed in Xian Yan's eyes as he looked coldly at the surrounding cultivators. Indeed, it was as Xian Yan said. When the clouds parted, many demon race warships landed in various directions. Many demons flew out from the warships. These demons each guarded a direction, surrounding all the Kunlun realm cultivators. Retreat. Even Chu Yang had been defeated. Shui Lingling made a prompt decision and joined in Juanxi. Together with Juanxi, they led the Thunder and Lightning Palaces and the Haotian sect's disciples to the periphery. Situ Gang held up the ice sculpture with both hands as he followed at the back. The ice sculpture was heavy and cold, making Situ Gang feel miserable. He could not run faster even if he wanted to. Whoosh! 14 demons descended from the sky, either riding ancient mutated beasts or war chariots as they landed beside Xian Yan and Yi Xian. The auras of these 14 demons were strong and unfathomable, far stronger than those of the 3 crown scions of the Blood Demon Royal Hall, Winged Demon Royal Hall, and Fire Demon Royal Hall. Some of them were like the deep sea, horrifying and suffocating. As Xian Yan and Yi Xian stood among them, they trembled in fear. They were also crown scions, but the 3 of them were far weaker than these 14 crown scions. Chapter 1425. Apart from the Succubus Demon Palace's Highness, Yao Manlan, who had yet to arrive, the 18 Demon Palace's Highness were all present. There were men and women with different temperaments. The only similarity was the purple mark between their eyebrows. Xian Yan was somewhat angry. He said in a deep voice, "We already sent out the news half a month ago. Why did you only come now?" The 14 crown scions of the other Demon Royal Halls remained silent for a moment, not saying anything. Instantly, Xian Yan and Yi Xian thought of a possibility. Anger immediately appeared on their faces. Hee, even if I don't say the reason, you should be able to guess it. If you appear so early, the act will not be real, the Thunder Demon Royal Hall's crown scion said with a teasing expression. Another person added, "Unfortunately, the deity Dao Union's people did not appear. Otherwise, we would have been able to catch them all in one fell swoop." You, Xian Yan, and Xian Yu were enraged. They had been used as bait. Speak less. Xian Yan, Yi Xian, the 2 of you have done a great service this time. You can tell me where the evil shadow sword is now, right? The white-clad Snow Demon Royal Hall's crown scion, Bai Lung, glared at the Thunder Demon Royal Hall's crown scion. Xian Yan and Xian Yuan were dissatisfied, but in the devil realm, where the strong preyed on the weak, strength was the only rule. Right now he could only endure it. Only when he became stronger in the future could he truly vent his anger. It's right under our feet. Xian Yan pointed at the ground below with a displeased expression. Xiao. Immediately, many pairs of eyes stared at their feet. It turned out that this was where the evil shadow sword was buried. Aside from Xian Yan, Yi Xian, and the foolish iron demon crown scion, the other crown scions were all contenders for the evil shadow sword. At this moment, when they heard that the evil shadow sword was hidden under their feet, they immediately became excited. There's no need to rush. Let's take a look at the situation before us first. How strong are the outstanding talents of the Kunlun realm? The Snow Demon Royal Halls by Lung said indifferently. Although the Snow Demon Monarch did not rank high among the 18 demon monarchs, he was only a 9th Heaven Emperor Wu. However, Bai Lung was different. Among the 18 Devil Hall's crown scions, his strength was firmly in the top 5, and his prestige was extremely high. Aside from the 2 mysterious crown scions of the Earth Demon Hall and the demonic Sky Demon Hall, there were very few crown scions who dared to fight with him. He had already proven his strength by defeating Chu Yang in 10 moves. That's fine as well. However, with such strength, there are not many people worthy of me making a move. The Thunder Demon Royal Hall's crown scion said lazily as he casually sized up the fleeing outstanding talents. The entire dragon burial mound was in chaos. The formations of the various outstanding talents had already been disrupted. Seeing that all the demons from the various demon halls had arrived, they all chose to make their breakthroughs nearby and leave first. The reason for this situation was because Chu Yang had been defeated too quickly. The panic he brought about affected the many outstanding talents, and no one stood out to unite them. In a situation where they didn't have the advantage in numbers, it became even more difficult for them to break out of the encirclement. Shui Lingling and Injuanshi's group were quite lucky. The disciples of the 2 factions had always been together. One was in charge of long-range attacks, and the other was in charge of close combat. Furthermore, there were 2 primes, Shui Lingling and Injuanshi. Their breakthroughs were extremely fast. They were like a flood, advancing ferociously. Without any obstruction, they arrived at the periphery of the 14 Demon Royal Hall's encirclement. However, it was precisely because they were too sharp that they attracted the attention of the few demon crown scions in the center. The Thunder Demon Royal Hall's Lei Yun's eyes lit up. He asked casually, Xian Yan, who are the man and woman holding the bow and whip? Interesting, they are no weaker than Chu Yang, whom Bai Lung dealt with earlier. One is Shui Lingling, and the other is Injuanshi. Both are disciples of primes and are very famous in the Tianwu domain, Xian Yan answered honestly. With that said, Lei Yun became even more interested. He said, not bad. They should be able to hold their own against me. Bai Lung watched carefully. Defeating Chu Yang in a one-on-one battle is not much of an ability. Fighting 1 against 2 and still winning, that is true ability. Boom. After saying that, Lei Yun turned into a bolt of lightning, tearing through the sky and flashing away. Bai Lung smiled faintly, not minding it at all. Following that, several more demon crown scions could no longer suppress the fighting spirit in their hearts. When they found an opponent that caught their eye, they charged over. Immediately, the various outstanding talents of the Kunlun realm found it even more difficult to break out of the encirclement. Shui Lingling led the Haotian sect disciples, and Injuanshi's Thunder and Lightning Palace disciples. They did not lose many disciples before they broke through the final line of defense of the 14 Demon Royal Halls. Just as the breakthrough was in sight, a bolt of lightning suddenly flashed overhead. Lei Yun's figure blocked the way. Crown Scion Lei. The 4 Moon Demon Royal Hall protectors guarding this place immediately bowed in greeting. Leave these 2 to me, Lei Yun said with a faint smile as he pointed to Shui Lingling and Injuanshi. The 4 Moon Demon Royal Hall protectors rejoiced in their hearts. This Shui Lingling and Injuanshi were very difficult to deal with. Even if the 4 of them worked together, they could only fight to a draw at best. With Lei Yun's help, it would be much easier for them to deal with the other cultivators of the Thunder and Lightning Palace and the Haotian sect. Yes. After saying that, Xiaochen led the other demons to charge over. Lei Yun raised his hand to stop him. He looked at Shui Lingling and smiled. I'll give the two of you a chance. If you can work together and defeat me, I'll let you go. And Juanqi and Shui Lingling exchanged glances. Then they waved their hands to get their subordinates to stop. I'll make a move first and test his limits, and Juanqi said, not daring to be careless. He could sense that this person's strength was extraordinary. Shui Lingling nodded in agreement. The true dragon lightning whip in Juanqi's hand moved like a phantom, extending infinitely as it lashed at Lei Yun. Rumble! Muffled thunder roared in the sky, causing the might of this whip to soar. By the time it arrived before Lei Yun, its might was already terrifyingly strong. Not bad. Your cultivation of the will of thunder has already reached the peak. Furthermore, you can use it skillfully. You have very high attainments in the technique of layering lightning. Just as the whip was about to reach him, Lei Yun still had the leisure to comment on it. He waited for the whip to reach him. When the whip flew over, an even more intense thunder roared behind Lei Yun, suppressing all the thunder that Juanqi had triggered. Then Lei Yun stretched out his hand and casually grabbed the true dragon lightning whip. Then he pulled, and Juanqi's entire body flew into the air. How can this be? His cultivation is clearly the same as mine. Why is there such a huge difference? Juanqi felt incredibly astonished. Lei Yun's cultivation was also that of a sixth heaven martial emperor, Emperor Wu. However, their strengths were on completely different levels. Bang! 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 Juanqi was flung into the air. Then he crashed heavily into the ground 3 times and vomited a mouthful of blood. Let go. When Shui Lingling discovered that Juanqi's lightning-attributed energy was completely suppressed and could not circulate, she quickly shot out an arrow. Lei Yun's figure flashed as he quickly dodged. He did not dare to casually receive this arrow shot by a transcendent divine weapon. Whoosh! 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 After dodging 3 arrows, Lei Yun knew that he was not a match for Shui Lingling in long-range combat. Only in close combat could he defeat his opponent quickly. After dodging the 3rd arrow, Lei Yun turned into a bolt of lightning and charged over in the blink of an eye. Shui Lingling's movement technique was no weaker than Lei Yun's. She moved quickly. Lei Yun smiled as he gave chase. The Emperor Yi shooting sun bow could also be used as a close combat weapon. Shui Lingling's close combat strength was extraordinary as well. Unfortunately, Lei Yun clearly suppressed her. What was even stranger was his movement technique. With every step Lei Yun took, crackling electric light would appear under his feet. While Shui Lingling was not paying attention, Lei Yun laid a lightning formation without her noticing. The instant the formation formed, a lightning bolt as thick as a water bucket suddenly shot out from the ground. Boom! It blasted Shui Lingling into the air. Lightning covered her body, crackling continuously. Whoosh! The true dragon lightning whip turned into a dragon and charged over. Juanqi had caught his breath and charged over. Little fellow, you are still far from being able to play lightning with me. My will of thunder broke through long ago and formed the innate thunder crystal. Lei Yun smiled faintly. As he looked at the roaring true dragon lightning, he glared at it. Boundless thunder might burst out, frightening the true dragon lightning into trembling. With this glare, it retreated. Then the light vanished, and it turned back into the 9-segment lightning whip. Lei Yun's thunder Dao completely suppressed Juanqi. Juanqi fighting with him was equivalent to crippling half of his strength. Furthermore, Shui Lingling was not good at close combat. After exchanging a few moves, Lei Yun defeated the two. They could not see any chance of victory. First senior sister, you two leave first. I'll delay him. Situ Gang raised the ice sculpture and roared. Then he tossed the ice sculpture at Lei Yun. 3 against 1? I don't mind. Ha! What lousy toy is this? Break for me. Lei Yun did not get angry at all. When he saw the ice sculpture flying over, he punched with electric light. A silent crash resounded, and the entire ground trembled. This punch flickering with electric light did not shatter the ice sculpture. Instead, it activated the saber might in Xiaochen's body instinctively. That blazing saber might automatically spread out while Xiaochen was unconscious. Be it the Haotian sect cultivators or the demons, They all felt a terrifying aura and retreated. How heavy! How cold! What is this strange thing? The black cloth covering the ice sculpture fell off, and Lei Yun immediately shivered from the cold. He felt that he could not support the ice sculpture with one hand. The saber might that the ice sculpture gave off was as vast as the sea and as heavy as a chain of mountains. Lei Yun quickly switched to using two hands. However, he still could not support it. With a loud boom, the ice sculpture pressed him to the ground. When the many demon-crowned scions saw this scene from afar, they all guffawed. The Thunder Demon-crowned scion, who ranked within the top 5 of the 18 demon-crowned scions, actually got pressed down by an ice sculpture. It truly lives up to being the body of an ancient powerhouse. To think that it can still display such might after death. Situgang's careless action suppressed a demon-crowned scion. He rejoiced in his heart as he quickly helped Shui Lingling up. As Shui Lingling watched Lei Yun struggle under the ice sculpture, but could not get up, many thoughts flashed in her mind. In the end, rationality triumphed over impulse. The lives of sect disciples were more important than an ancient ice sculpture. Come, let's leave this place. After saying that, Xiaochen and Enjuanshi decided to break through this final line of defense first. Chapter 1426. Without Lei Yun's obstruction, just the 4 protectors of the Moon Demon Royal Hall would not be able to stop Enjuanshi and Shui Lingling, who were determined to break out. After all, not everyone could counter Enjuanshi and Shui Lingling. When these two worked together, their true combat prowess could rival that of a demon-crowned scion. However, Enjuanshi's will of thunder had not broken through yet, and Shui Lingling was too close. That was why they lost so quickly. It was not that the two were not strong enough. After fighting for a while, the disciples of the Haotian sect and the Thunder and Lightning Palace finally took the lead to charge out. Shui Lingling and Enjuanshi heaved a sigh of relief. This time, it was all thanks to that ice sculpture. If not for that ancient powerhouse's corpse, it would be hard to say whether they could charge out or not. The combat prowess of the Thunder Demon Royal Hall's crown scion was excessively horrifying. Just thinking about it made Enjuanshi feel defeated. Situgang said cockily, "This time, you all have to thank me. If not for my sudden inspiration, how could everyone have escaped safely?" What about that ice sculpture? That is a golden emperor's corpse from the peak of the martial epoch. If the demons snatch it away, we will have given them a great opportunity for nothing. Enjuanshi said with a frown. Indeed, the ice sculpture was priceless. To them, it might even be as valuable as the demon sword. Only demons could use the demon sword. It was hard to say how useful it would be to the cultivators of the Kunlun realm. Situgang scratched his head and said, "I really never thought about that." Shui Lingling looked at Lei Yun, who was still being suppressed. Then she said, "How about this? Situgang and Enjuanshi stay behind. The others return to the sect and report the situation here. Let's see if the 3 of us can find an opportunity to snatch back the ice sculpture." Enjuanshi nodded and said, "That's not a bad idea. With the strength of the 3 of us, it will be easier for us to leave amid the chaos." The others accepted the orders and returned to their warships, heading for the Thunder and Lightning Palace and the Haotian sect. Right after this group of people left, Lei Yun, who had been struggling for a long time, shouted. The purple mark on Lei Yun's forehead flickered with light. As the boundless lightning descended, it ferociously tore away the ice sculpture. After all, Xiaochen was in a deep slumber. Although his saber might was strong, there was no one to control it, so it could not truly suppress the thunderclouds. Lei Yun had been too careless. If he had used his full strength from the start, he would not have lost so much face. The ice sculpture shot out like a meteor due to the great force. Then, it landed with a bang in the center of the dragon burial mound. Boom! A boundless saber intent spread out from the ice sculpture throne. A strong wind blew with the hum of a saber, kicking up a cloud of dust. In this chaotic dragon burial mound, everyone immediately felt this vast and horrifying saber intent. Many cultivators and demons were caught off guard by this saber intent radiation, and were sent flying into the air. What was going on? In an instant, everyone stopped fighting. They were shocked by this shocking blade will. Xiaochen squinted and looked at the center of the surging dust cloud. When the dust cloud scattered and the saber intent was gone, he could see clearly. Ice sculpture. Who is this? Why is it sealed in ice? Furthermore, it still has such a strong saber intent. I seem to have seen it before. Earlier, the Haotian Sect's Situ gang carried it. They must have discovered it in the savage battlefield. Earlier, it seemed to have suppressed a crowned scion of the demon royal halls. Could it be that the one sealed in ice was a sovereign martial emperor at the peak of the martial epoch? The appearance of the dusty ice sculpture could not be seen. One could only vaguely make out a throne, and the silhouette of a person in the thick ice sculpture. There was also the unchanging chill that made people feel the vicissitudes of time and distance. Even when a true expert was sealed in ice from the inside out, he would still have a strong aura. Without a doubt, Xiaochen was such a person. Even through the unmelting ice, he could still feel the dazzling light. From the initial misunderstanding to now, everyone firmly believed in this ice sculpture. The sudden appearance of this ice sculpture attracted everyone's attention. The more they observed it, the more they could sense how extraordinary this ice sculpture was. Shui Lingling and Injuanqi weren't the only ones who had the same feeling. Even the crowned scions of the 18 demon halls, who had been mocking Lei Yun for being suppressed by the ice sculpture, could not help but reveal grave expressions. Bai Lung, you are an expert in the ice Dao. Can you release this kind of ice? Someone suddenly spoke from a black palanquin floating in the air. That was the most mysterious crowned scion of the 18 demon royal halls, the celestial demon royal hall. The snow demon royal halls. Bai Lung's gaze had already been attracted to this ice sculpture long ago. When he heard the celestial demon royal hall's crowned scion's question, he shook his head and replied, "No. This is something that can only be obtained after one comprehended the ice domain. One has cultivated the ice domain for at least several hundred years. I don't think even the solar true fire can melt that kind of ice. My guess is correct. It should have been done by a senior of my Snow Devil clan during the ancient 100 Clan War." Bai Lung analyzed truthfully. His previous guess was correct. It was just that he had a preconceived notion and treated this ice sculpture as an ancient object. Upon hearing Bai Lung's analysis, the gazes of the crowned scions of the various demon royal halls immediately turned fervent. They already felt that this ice sculpture was extraordinary in the first place. Bai Lung's words further verified their guess. However, this was actually not wrong. If they obtained Xiaochen's physical body and the cycle throne, their value would not be lower than that of an ancient powerhouse. It might even be higher. Very well. No matter who it is, this ancient ice sculpture must be obtained by my demon race. Attack. In the black palanquin, the celestial demon royal hall's crowned scion gave off the air of a sovereign overlooking the world. With a few words, he determined the owner of this ice sculpture. Although a few people were not convinced, if the 18 demon royal hall's crowned scions had to choose a leader, it had to be the celestial demon royal hall's crowned scion. Although there were a few people who were not convinced, if the 18 demon crowned scions had to choose a leader, it would definitely be the celestial demon crowned scion. This is a senior of our Kunlun realm. We cannot let the demons humiliate him. At the crucial moment, Chu Yang stepped forward once more. Sima Lingxian, who was about to break out of the encirclement, suddenly felt a chill run down his spine. When Sima Lingxian, who was about to break out of the encirclement, heard this, he could not help feeling his blood surge. Hearing those words, Zhang Xian's blood couldn't help but boil. The ancient ancestors had been dead for so many years. Not only were they not allowed to rest in peace, but they were even used by the demons to humiliate them. As a junior of the Kunlun realm, no one could accept this. Go back and help, Sima Lingxian said coldly. Then he made up his mind and charged back while holding his sword. A moment later, a few more people slaughtered their way back. They were all outstanding talents from various places, heavenly geniuses who rose up in this golden age. Although they were no match for the demon crowned scions, they were not convinced. If they did not fight, they would be letting down their hot-bloodedness. The high-ranking crowned scions of the 18 demon royal halls watched coldly from the sidelines, not making a move, as the outstanding talents of the Kunlun realm and the demon crowned scions fought over it. The mysterious ice sculpture soared up and down, flying everywhere. Be it flames, saber energy, sword intent, palm wind, or lightning, they all landed on it. The ice seal didn't move at all, showing no signs of melting. In the midst of the intense battle, it didn't change at all. However, unintentionally, it would bring out some strong saber might, startling the mysteriousness of this ice sculpture. He's here. In the black palanquin, the celestial demon crowned scion suddenly opened his eyes and said something out of the blue. However, the crowned scions of the Thunder Demon Royal Hall, Snow Demon Royal Hall, Shadow Demon Royal Hall, Earth Demon Royal Hall, and the Moon Demon Royal Hall instantly understood who the celestial demon crowned scion was referring to. Should we give up on this ice sculpture? The Snow Demon Royal Halls by Lung asked. The celestial demon crowned scion's magnetic voice came from the palanquin. Although the demon sword is more precious, we cannot even snatch an ice sculpture. What qualifications do we have to snatch the evil shadow sword? If we cannot obtain what we want, then the Kunlun realm will be looking down on us. Haha, this crowned scion is filled with fighting spirit. I was just fretting about not having anyone to practice with. That's right. No matter what, we cannot tarnish the reputation of our demon royal halls. We must obtain the demon sword. All the more, we cannot give up on the ice sculpture. These high-ranking demon crowned scions were all ambitious people. They were extremely proud and would not easily give up on the treasures they wanted. A divine light shone in the dark sky. Following that, a bright light erupted, illuminating the entire dragon burial mound. The divine sun commands for all demons to withdraw from the dragon burial mound. Anyone who disobeys will be killed without mercy. Fellow Taoists of the Kunlun realm, accept the medallion of my deity Tao Union, and you will obtain the divine sun's protection. A resonant voice resounded in the sky. Golden light shone down, and the medallions bestowed by the deity Tao Union fell like rain. Who is here? The divine sun Diwuk is here with the deity Tao Union. Chapter 1427. The deity Tao Union was currently the strongest faction in the Kunlun realm. It gathered all the outstanding talents of the human race's three holy masters, the corpse race, the ghost race, and the deity race. The son of the three holy masters, the corpse race is Xingju, the ghost race is Xuan, the various sovereigns, Emperor Wu's personal disciples, and many other outstanding talents, all of them shining with glory. All of them could hold their own during the Golden Age. However, one person eclipsed the glory of these people in the deity Tao Union. Without a doubt, that person was Diwuk. During the Golden Age, Xiaochun was the first outstanding talent to advance to martial emperor. Among the 9-colored emperor's road, the 9,000th step, and the thousands of mysterious phenomena, he was the strongest. The appearance of the deity Tao Union was both unexpected and reasonable. Logically speaking, if the demon sword did not appear, the deity Tao Union would not appear. However, the sudden appearance of the ice sculpture throne forced the deity Tao Union to appear in advance. If they did not, the people of the demonic world would snatch this throne away. The medallions of beneficence medallions fell like rain, shining with divine light, looking resplendent and dazzling. The deity Tao Union's warships flew towards the dragon burial mound in the sky. Every warship gave off a divine light. Resonant sagely music rang out in the surroundings, giving off a holy and solemn feeling. The deity Tao Union's warships gathered the elites of the deity race, the ghost race, the corpse race, and the human race. The many demon royal halls factions avoided the light, giving up on fighting the outstanding talents of the Kunlun realm. Then they gathered behind the various crown scions. Overwhelming demonic flames surged up and down, blocking the divine light. Suddenly, two figures descended on an unremarkable mound in the distance. If Xiaochun were here, he would not be unfamiliar with these two. One was a man and one was a woman. The woman was the Eros Demon Royal Hall's crown scion, Yao Manlan, and the man was the Tianwu dynasty's descendant, Chu Chaoyan. When the two saw the deity Tao Union appear, they entered deep thought. Chu Chaoyan, what is the origin of this ice sculpture? To think that it actually forced the deity Tao Union out in advance, Yao Manlan said with a frown. Chu Chaoyan entered deep thought. It was like he wanted to see through that ice sculpture. However, that ice sculpture did not have any life force. Aside from the spreading saber might, no other perception could penetrate it. After a while, Chu Chaoyan said in a deep voice, "There's an 80 to 90% chance that it's really the golden arch body from the peak of the martial Tao." The peak of the martial Tao was a great era that was even more magnificent than our current golden age. The sovereign martial emperors of that era could rival primes now. A complete sovereign martial emperor's body is very valuable. If I remember correctly, there was an auction in the past where a piece of the hand bone of an ancient great emperor was sold for millions of origin essence stones. Think about how valuable a complete golden Thearcha's body is. When Yao Manlon heard this, she was a little surprised. Is it really that valuable? There are some values. There are all sorts of resources that cannot be fixed. If the emperor's body is complete, it will still retain some Tao rhythm. If I can comprehend some Tao from it, that would be incredible. Chu Chaoyan paused for a moment before continuing. Let's not talk about the monarch's body for now. Let's talk about the throne. In ancient times, etiquette was respected. Everything was done with courtesy before force. Regular martial emperors would not be able to travel on a throne. For this person to be able to sit on a throne, his status is definitely not simple. It is very possible. Yao Manlon asked out of curiosity, very possible what? It is very possible that he was an overlord of a dynasty or an ancient sovereign. Chu Chaoyan thought of some things, and his voice suddenly turned somewhat gloomy. Back then, the first-generation Tianwu emperor traveled on a nine-dragon throne. Yao Manlon did not notice the grief in Chu Chaoyan's words. A light flashed in her eyes as she said, "Then this ice sculpture. Don't even think about it. Even if you obtain it, you will not be able to melt the ice. Even if you melt the ice, you will not be qualified to sit on that throne. However, offering it to Leng Yu is not a bad idea." Chu Chaoyan smiled faintly, not understanding Yao Manlon's feelings at all. Yao Manlon felt somewhat depressed. This person before her completely ignored her charm. If it were anyone else, they would have immediately volunteered to help her obtain the ice sculpture the moment they heard Yao Manlon's intentions. That is our plan. The plan will not change. Let's just wait and see. I promised Leng Yu that I would help her obtain this demon sword. Naturally, I will help her obtain it. Chu Chaoyan said casually as though everything was within his control. Yao Manlon felt somewhat angry. The other party was always so confident, as though nothing could stump him. What if you can't get it? Haha. How can there be anything that is guaranteed in this world? Even if you try your best, there will be unexpected surprises. As long as I do my best, I believe that Leng Yu will not blame me. Chu Chaoyan shrugged and smiled faintly, rendering Yao Manlon speechless. At the same time, a group of companions from afar arrived beside Juanxi, Shui Lingling, and the others. They were by from the Fiend Domain, the Peacock King's descendant, Kong Yuan, and the Fox King's disciple, Yuan Su. The three were covered in dust from rushing all the way, clearly fatigued. Elder sister Shui, something happened in the Fiend race. We arrived late, I said apologetically. Shui Lingling smiled and said, "It's fine. I thought that you would not make it in time. Now that you are here, it's good timing. The fight between the Deity Dao Union and the Demon Royal Halls is a good opportunity for us to take the Evil Shadow Sword and the ice sculpture." Ice sculpture? What ice sculpture? Bai and the others asked, feeling suspicious. After hearing the explanation, Bai looked at the ice sculpture that everyone was fighting over. He whispered, "Why do I feel that this ice sculpture is somewhat familiar? That can't be. I obtained this in the Savage Battlefield's Death Sand Dune," Sitagang muttered. If the ancients were familiar with it, then it would be strange. Bai smiled embarrassedly and said, "That might be a misperception." Due to the appearance of the Deity Dao Union, the fight over the ice sculpture turned even more intense. The attacks of the Demon Crown Scions turned even sharper. Sima Lingxian Chuyang, and the others gradually lost ground, on the verge of defeat. Divine Sun, you can make your move now. If you still do not, the ice sculpture will be snatched away. On a flagship surrounded by countless warships in the sky, a few deity race cultivators kept a close eye on the battle around the ice sculpture. On the vast deck of the warship, Diwuk sat on a throne. On his left and right, 12 watchers stood respectfully at the side. Right now, Diwuk appeared much more mature than when he first advanced to martial emperor. His aura was strong, and he already had the air of a deity sovereign on his face. As Xiaochen sat there quietly, the scions of the three holy masters casually stood below. Xingju and the other outstanding talents of the various races all felt a faint pressure. There's no rush. If we don't let these outstanding talents suffer a little, they will never understand their own strength. They will not join my deity Dao Union, unable to recognize who is the bearer of luck. Diwuk picked up a cup of fine wine and slowly drank, appearing relaxed. As Xiaochen raised his hand, there was a strange charm to it. One could vaguely see a divine light shining down. Right now, Diwuk's deity statues were already erected in the various palaces, second only to Emperor Forsaken. With a thought, Xiaochen could feel the boundless power of faith turning into a boundless sea for him to use. There was a huge difference between the deity race cultivators before they erected their deity statues and before. The difference in strength would be tenfold, hundredfold, or even thousandfold. The scions of the three holy masters, Xingju, Xiezixuan, and the other peak outstanding talents of the various races that joined the deity Dao Union all felt this way. After the deity race erected their deity statues, they clearly felt their strength soar, their combat prowess soar. Although the deity statue was good, they did not know that once it was erected, it could no longer be removed. Why did they feel pressure and even fear before Diwuk? A large part of the reason had to do with the deity statue's creation. That's enough. Xiaoju, Fengwuji, make your move. Diwuk put down his wine cup, and a maidservant with a graceful figure immediately came over, took the wine cup and left. Right after Xiaochen spoke, Sima Lingxian, Chu Yang, and the other outstanding talents all got knocked back at the same time. The crown scions of the Flower Demon Royal Hall, the Astral Demon Royal Hall, the Moon Demon Royal Hall, and the Beast Demon Royal Hall all revealed expressions of joy. They grabbed a corner of the ice sculpture and prepared to carry it back. Two beams of divine light descended. Xiaoju and Fengwuji, the holy scions of the Divine Martial Gate and the White Emperor City, appeared at the same time and blocked the four demons. Everyone felt surprised. The deity Dao Union only sent out two holy scions, and they wanted to block four demon crown scions. Chapter 1428. The four royal highnesses of the demon race, 3 men and 1 woman, each carried a corner of a throne, coldly staring at Xiaoju and Fengwuji. Moon Demon Royal Hall, Star Demon Royal Hall, Beast Demon Royal Hall, and Flower Demon Royal Hall. Although these 4 demon royal halls did not rank very high among the 18 royal halls, their strength was not something that Xianyan or Yixian could compare to. Seeing that the deity Dao Union sent only 2 people to block them, they revealed cold smiles on their faces. Leave the ice sculptures, and the 4 of you can go, Xiaoju said expressionlessly. The Beast Demon Hall's crown prince had a stocky build. He sneered. What arrogance! Let me test you out. His figure was tall, and his face was covered in beast markings. When he was angry, he was like a ferocious beast roaring, looking exceptionally sinister. His figure flashed as he roared and threw a punch at Xiaoju. The punch transformed into the claw of a prehistoric giant beast. The clenched beast's claw looked like a mountain, and an astonishing pressure spread out from the fist. The clouds trembled as if the sky was about to fall. Xiaoju coldly snorted as his aura burst forth. Against this misty pressure, a dull sound of impact came from the void. The sky shook, and countless rocks soared into the air, covering the sky and sun. Just as his opponent's beastly fist was about to reach him, a wisp of golden flame ignited in the depths of Xiaoju's eyes. Boom! A statue of a deity suddenly rose up behind him, and a sonorous hymn resounded throughout heaven and earth. The deity statue grew in the wind. In the blink of an eye, it reached a height of 3 kilometers. Xiaoju gently pointed at it, and the deity statue gave off rings of light, looking like a divine wheel. This added a lot of divine might to Xiao Chen's finger. Bang! He shattered the gigantic prehistoric beast that the Beast Demon Crown Scion had turned into. When the Beast Demon Hall's Crown Prince landed on the ground, he staggered and nearly fell to the ground. Such powerful strength. For a moment, many martial artists had a whole new level of respect for Xiaoju, not daring to believe it. Shui Lingling said in a deep voice, "The celestial race's power of faith is really mysterious. This Xiaoju has already surpassed it by a lot." Xiaoju's talent was on par with hers. She could also get whatever resources he could get. The only thing she couldn't get was the statue of the god race. In a situation where the other party had one more condition, it was not difficult to understand that his strength surpassed hers. No wonder so many people are willing to join the deity Dao Union. Once the deity statue is erected, the power of faith will pour in endlessly. It would be hard for the deity Dao Union to not be strong. And Juanqi shook his head and sighed. He was also not inferior to Xiaoju. If he had the same conditions, he would definitely surpass Xiaoju. However, the Fox King's disciple said, there are gains and losses. From the moment he cast the statue, he truly lost the edge in his heart. He will choose to submit to Diwuk for the rest of his life. It is impossible for someone who has lost their true self to become a supreme being. Let's see how he does in another 10 years. That's right, there would always be fairness between gains and losses. Furthermore, they will become increasingly dependent on the deity race. In the end, they will slowly be assimilated. Originally, they were thinking of using the deity race to strengthen themselves. In the end, they will realize that they are the ones being used as pawns by the deity race, unable to break free. Bai analyzed calmly. While Xiaoju spoke, Xiaoju fought increasingly valiantly, completely suppressing the Beast Demon Royal Hall's Crown Scion. Even after the Beast Demon Royal Hall's Crown Scion activated his beast transformation ability, he still could not gain the upper hand. It looked like his defeat was only a matter of time. However, Xiaoju still handled the situation with ease. The expressions of the other 3 Demon Royal Hall's Crown Scions had long since changed from their initial disdain to grave. Whoosh! Suddenly, the 3 Demon Royal Hall's Crown Scions roared and attacked at the same time. They ferociously pushed the ice sculpture towards Feng Wuji, who was watching at the side. At the same time, they soared up, preparing to surround and attack. The might of the ice sculpture was clear. Even the Thunder Demon Royal Hall's Crown Scion was caught off guard and suppressed. If Feng Wuji had been careless, he would definitely have suffered a great loss. Fortunately, Feng Wuji did not get careless. When he saw the ice sculpture flying over, his expression turned grave. Deep Earth Black Tortoise. Feng Wuji shouted ferociously, and his body leaned forward. The image of the Black Tortoise holy beast appeared and firmly encased him. The ice sculpture crashed into the Black Tortoise image, forcing Feng Wuji to take 3 steps back. Then he sent out 3 palm strikes, forcefully pushing the ice sculpture back. As the ice sculpture flew over, it spun continuously. The horrifying saber might stirred up the wind and clouds. Saber winds buzzed in the air. The sharp saber intent chilled one's heart. Retreat! The 3 Demon Royal Hall's Crown Scions showed stunned expressions. They did not dare to clash head-on, so they quickly dodged. Ha! The Demon Royal Hall's Crown Scions are merely SO. Feng Wuji leaped into the air and raised the ice sculpture with one hand. Then he used the might of the ice sculpture to suppress the 3 Demon Royal Hall's Crown Scions. The scene immediately turned chaotic. However, it was clear that the 4 Demon Royal Hall's Crown Scions were at a disadvantage, which surpassed everyone's expectations. The deity Dao Union looks very powerful. Earlier, Sima Lingxian and the others could not defeat these 4. Now they are able to suppress the Demon Royal Hall's Crown Scions with just 2. Xiaoju and Feng Wuji are clearly improving faster than the other outstanding talents of the deity Dao Union. The deity Dao Union truly lives up to being the strongest faction in the Kunlun realm. Diwuk, who was in the sky, had his eyes closed as he listened to these voices. He revealed a smile on his face. This was the effect he wanted. In the fight for the evil shadow sword, he wanted the entire world to know the strength of the deity Dao Union. At the place where the demons gathered, The group of Demon Royal Hall's crowned scions frowned heavily. The strength of the deity Dao Union somewhat surpassed their expectations. They were much harder to deal with than they had imagined. Heavenly Blood Divine Finger. A huge scarlet finger with circles of divine markings on it descended from the sky and struck the beast demon crowned scion's body, knocking him back to his original form, and burying him deep into the ground. The beast demon crowned scion's miserable cries rang out amid the boundless dust cloud, looking exceptionally miserable. He probably no longer had any combat prowess left. The other 3 demon crowned scions were suppressed by Feng Wuji's ice sculpture thrown in the first place. When they saw Xiao Hoju coming over to help, they immediately panicked. Whoosh! At the crucial moment, a bolt of lightning flashed in the sky. The Thunder Demon Royal Hall's Lei Yun made his move. However, the moment this bolt of lightning appeared, a divine light blocked it. The ghost race's Xie Zishuan held up his sword and smiled. Your opponent is me. How dare you block my way? You are seeking death. Lei Yun snorted coldly and attacked at lightning speed. He was like a phantom, his movement technique moving like lightning as he closed in on Xie Zishuan. Lei Yun wanted to use the same method he used to defeat Shui Lingling to deal with Xie Zishuan. However, he underestimated Xie Zishuan's movement technique. The other party's movement technique was like a phantom, mysterious and unfathomable, no weaker than Lei Yun's. In a moment, the two exchanged more than 100 moves. However, neither could do anything to the other. Whoosh! Several more demon crown scions charged over from the Demon Royal Hall's side. Di Wuk waved his hand, and the 12 keepers turned into divine lights and entered the battlefield. All of a sudden, the fight over the ice sculptures became even more chaotic. No one wanted to admit defeat. The demon crown scions entered the battle one after another. Aside from the Earth Demon Royal Halls and the Celestial Demon Royal Hall's crown scions, the other demon crown scions all made their moves. At some point in time, the land of the battle had been destroyed beyond recognition, leaving behind a huge, deep pit. No one noticed that the thousands of strands of black dragon chi in the dragon burial mound were slowly moving towards the battlefield, gathering there. Mysterious phenomena kept appearing in the chaotic battle. Snow, lightning, strong winds, sword chi, and all sorts of other things appeared. All sorts of howls rang out, deafening. Only the ice statue remained, rising and falling amidst all sorts of strange phenomena. Sometimes it landed on the ground, sometimes leaped into the air, and sometimes spun like the wind. How chaotic! I can't find an opportunity to make a move, I said with some frustration. Her instincts told her that the ice sculpture from the ancient era was very familiar. Unfortunately, the chaotic battle was getting more and more intense. Once she got caught up in it, the consequences would be dire. Di Wuk, why the need to hide? Do you dare to fight me? Just at this moment, the second-ranked Earth Demon Crown Scion of the 18 Demon Royal Halls shouted coldly and directly challenged Di Wuk, who was surrounded by layers of warships. Among the 18 Demon Royal Halls, only one person is qualified to fight me. Unfortunately, it is not you. However, if you want to die, I don't mind fulfilling your wish. You're tuning in to the Li Mei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.